Welcome to the 159th episode of the So Video Games podcast, where we talk about any game at all, including new stuff, old stuff, and anything in between. If we are playing it, we will be talking about it today. We are recording on December 29th, 2019. My name is Brad Galloway. I am the editor of GameCritics.com, and I am 50% of this year's show. With me is co-host and the man who invented leg warmers, Carlos Rodella.
Whoa, I didn't know you knew that.
I didn't know until I found it on Etsy, and then I saw your shop.
Yeah, I got, profits are up this year, for sure, being the holiday season. And I tell you what, people love their leg warmers, and it's kind of like a Snuggie for your legs.
I mean, that was brilliant. I wish I had thought of it.
Yeah, well, I did, and I'm rich, so.
Love it, love it. All right, folks, we're not going to spend too much time goofing around because this is a special episode, as I'm sure you already know if you took a look at the show notes. It's the Game of the Year show. 2019 is almost over, so it is the So Video Games GOTY episode. This year, Carlos and I will be reading off our personal top 10s. We will be reading top 3s from listeners. I'm sure we will have plenty of discussion and more than a few tangents on the way. This is So Video Games after all. Before we get into it, just a heads up, we're also at the end of a decade, an end of an entire decade. It's going to be 2020 in just a couple of days, which means it is the perfect time, because it would be weird if you were looking back at a decade and it was only like 5 years through. That wouldn't make any sense at all. This is the perfect time to look back on the last 10 years. We're not going to do that today, and I'm not exactly sure what we're going to be doing to, cover that, but it's something special. I think we're going to do something. And I think that you can look forward to an episode covering the last decade very soon, either next episode or the one after, depending on how scheduling goes. How's that sound to you, Carlos?
Yeah, we got to do that. I mean, that is epic. We're in an epic moment in time for gaming, 10 years of gaming, but it's going to take a while to compile that list. I've actually worked a little bit on it, so yeah, I don't know, some point soon.
Have you ever done a look back at a decade before? I'm not sure that I have.
No, because... Yeah, no. That would be like 1990 to... No, I never have.
No. I mean, I'm old enough to have done it at least a couple times, but I guess I just never crossed my mind before.
Oh, yeah, I could have done it many times. Many times.
All right. Well, we'll get to that soon. That's not going to be going down today. Today is the top 10 of 2019, talking only about 2019. So, folks, just to be clear, we're not voting on we're not going to pick like one So Video Games winner of 2019. Like, we're not voting on anything. It's not a competition. It's just Carlos and I, two dudes who like games, picking our own personal top 10, discussing each one, and just enjoying the games we played, and hopefully people listening will hear something they didn't know about and play that.
Yeah, and because I think our list might be different than other people's lists. At least I know mine is.
I strongly suspect our list will be very different, not only from each other, but from basically every other list out there. So,
Yeah.
So just to be clear, Carlos, I don't know what you've picked. You don't know what I've picked. Is that correct?
Yeah, we don't know each other's lists, but I wanted to ask you, I put mine in order. Did you put yours in order, like as in like one is the best?
Yes. I put mine in descending order, starting at 10, going to 1.
Good.
And 10 is definitely... And they're all great. These are all winners. But 10 will be like, my lowest pick, and number 1 will be what I thought was the best game of 2019. That's what you did?
Perfect.
Perfect. And we're going to starting at 10, right?
Let's start at 10. I'm so excited. Let's just get this list started.
Let's get started with no further ado. The main event. Carlos, let's start with you, sir. Jumping right into it, what was your number 10 of 2019?
This game I'm still playing continually every day. I don't know when it's ever going to end, and I kind of don't care. I don't want it to end. It's called What the Golf.
Oh, What the Golf.
Yes.
I've had my eye on this one for quite a while. Okay, tell us a little bit about it, sir.
I got it on the Epic Games Store. It was my exploration into that store and seeing some new games on there. And I remember hearing somebody talk about how wild and weird it was. And I don't want to spoil it. I'm not even going to say much about it. It has a golf mechanic-ish, where you kind of hold down power and then let go and see how far you hit a thing. But lots of times the course doesn't have a ball, or it has many balls, or it has other things that you have to hit. And it really just freaks you out when you finally see the mechanic in action. It's so weird and so inventive, and has comedy and jokes all in it. And it's just twisted and weird and funny and simple, and you want to keep playing it because it still has that golf mechanic. But it just, you don't know what to expect each new course.
And you're playing it on PC, correct?
Yeah, PC on Epic Games Store with a controller. Oh no, you don't even need the controller. It's just a point and click thing, and it is like you're basically a little golf ball that goes around a whole course. It seems like kind of a warehouse of a way, like a huge building, and you're just opening up new areas. And as you open up new areas, you have different courses. But that's all I'll say, because they're just different things that you have to do with a golf ball, or maybe not, but with a golf mechanic.
Fair enough, fair enough. We don't need to spoil anything, but I think if people see the trailer, there's a couple trailers out there. I think they'll get a pretty good taste for what it is. I'm pretty sure this one is either already on Switch or it's coming to Switch, and it's on my list. So this is something I definitely wanted to get to, and you picking it as number 10 has just reinforced that. So I'm going to try to get to that. All right,
yeah,
cool,
it's
cool,
super
cool.
addictive too. That's the other reason it's on this list, because it's super addictive. You just like an hour is gone, and you're like, okay, I probably should stop this.
Well, one more quick question before I move on. So, like you say, you play it every day. Like, how much content is there? Are you replaying it? Is it like randomly generated, or like what? How?
No, it's just a lot of different courses.
Just a ton of courses. Okay.
Yeah. And you don't do it every single day, but like I play it quite a bit, and I'm still surprised. And something happened the other day that I wish I could tell you that was I've never seen in a video game, but I can't tell you because I want not to ruin the surprise.
All right, fair enough, fair enough. I'm definitely going to play this one. It sounds like people out there should play this one too. That was Carlos's number 10, What the Golf. My number 10, Mechstermination Force. Have you heard of this one, Carlos?
What?
Mech, as in MECH, like a robot. Mechstermination Force on the Switch.
Have no idea.
Oh, man. This one came out pretty early in the year, and I believe it is a Switch exclusive. You play a soldier. It's kind of like a Contra style game, if anybody's familiar with Contra. I know that you and I are old enough to remember that, but maybe not everybody. You play as a tiny little guy, and it's just like a boss rush game. So it's just boss after boss after boss, and each boss is a giant robot. And so they start out being really big, like maybe 5 stories tall, and you're just like a person, but they get like as big, I mean like 30, 40 stories tall. And sometimes you're running around dodging their giant robot feet and kind of shooting them. Sometimes you're climbing on them. You do a lot of climbing, climb up their legs, climb up their chest, get up to their face and shoot them in the eyeball. Sometimes you got to blow a hole in them and climb inside their guts and blow them up from the inside. Sometimes you're like falling. Sometimes you're in a vehicle. I mean, it's just every boss has a new twist and a new gimmick, but it's always like a little teeny tiny guy versus a giant robot. And it's just fucking fun to play. Like, I love it. The ideas were great. The graphics were great. Most of the bosses go through some kind of a multi-stage transformation, or they change up their attacks halfway through or something. Like, it's really fresh, and it's really action-packed and exciting. And the best thing is, it doesn't keep going after it runs out of ideas. It doesn't overstay its welcome. By the time that you've beaten the last boss, this developer has gone through, I don't know, 12 or 15 different, like, really solid ideas. None of them are dumb, and, it doesn't keep going. It doesn't repeat. It doesn't get stale. Mechstermination Force on Switch, I thought was awesome.
Wow, and I love that, like, because we talk about this a lot, like when games go on too long, or they just kind of get boring in some places. And this is like, I love those short experiences that are great the whole way through.
Yeah, man. I've always said a game should end when it runs out of ideas. Now, whether that's 4 hours, whether that's 40 hours, or whether that's 400 hours, I don't care. As long as it's got something to say. But the second it runs out of ideas and starts repeating itself, fucking roll credits and get the fuck out, because I don't want to keep doing that. So.
And this game did, so it is your number 10.
Mechstermination Force is great. Moving on to your number 9, Carlos. What's number 9?
It's a perfect segue. We didn't even plan it, but there's another game that I have that is also a short experience that doesn't overstay their welcome. And I think I just said "doesn't," which I meant to say "doesn't."
You did, but it sounded kind of street, so I guess it was cool.
Yo, it doesn't even...
Oh, let's back off of that one.
What? I'm just talking like my normal language.
Okay, sure.
And I'm just saying "doesn't," the word I made up just now.
All right. I know. That's pretty cool.
So yeah, this he says it's pretty cool. There's a game called Erica, and that's my number 9. Do you know what Erica is?
I feel like I do. I think I even finished this, but tell me about it. I'm not sure.
I feel like you would hate it for some reason.
Maybe.
Yeah. It's a full motion video game. So it's a choose your own adventure game with actors. So it's essentially, there's no computer graphics. It's just a movie that you pick different choices throughout the thing experience, and then you get to see how it plays out. And there are quite a bunch of different endings, and I really, really liked my ending. But like back to what you said about the last game, this is kind of a thriller of a story, kind of a weird, almost unsettling at times thriller. And you play as this girl who basically is trying to prove that she's sane, and she's not like a lot of other people at this kind of, I want to say insane asylum, but some sort of place where there's a lot of people who have different thoughts. I don't really want to spoil this one either, but they're basically, you play as the main character, and Erica, and she is trying to figure something out, and you're trying to help her figure it out, and you also are trying to make sure that she's really seeing what she's seeing. So like, there's a lot of things you have to decide: is this real or is this not real? What's going on? And up to the last second of the movie / game, you're still like unsure of things, because you swear that this is the position you were taking, and this is who did the wrong things or whatever, and this is how you think these characters are. But at the end, you're like, I don't know. Did I make the right decision? And I think it's very good at doing something like the multiple endings really could all feel correct. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And now that you mention this, I've actually played this. I did play this, and I did finish it. I played with my wife. We played it together. Until Dawn style, the both of us on a couch watching it, like, as if we were watching a TV show, and then we would talk about what choices we should do. So yeah, I did play this one. I thought it was fun, and it was good for that kind of like spouse co-op or buddy co-op time on the couch. Yeah, I thought it was a good time.
Yeah, and I put it on the list because my list is also just like a lot of things that shocked me, because I don't want to just obviously be like, oh yeah, another Call of Duty I like because it was like 9 out of 10 or something. I generally look for Game of the Year is my games that like, surprise me as well as entertain me. And so What the Golf surprised me, and Erica did too. I had no expectations. I was like, what, interactive movie? And then I was like all of a sudden invested in the characters, and I really liked my ending, which we can't talk about. Maybe some other episode we'll talk about the endings. But my ending was so cool, and I felt like I picked the weird ending. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I was like, I wonder how many people got this. And they don't tell you, which that would actually be pretty cool, but they didn't tell me. Erica, number 9, because it's weird, and I was really shocked.
That one did not make my top 10, but I did enjoy playing that one, and I do think it is worth it. It's actually really cheap on PSN, I believe. We played it on PlayStation. I think last time I saw it, it was probably like $5 or something.
Yeah.
Just on a quick tangent, did you ever play Late Shift?
It sounds familiar. Remind me.
It's another FMV game where you play a guy who works in a parking garage.
Oh, I
just
did.
Doing your job.
Yeah. That had some more graphics in it, though, didn't it? It kind of like froze the screen and did stuff like that.
Yeah, possible. I haven't played it in a while, but that's another good FMV one. FMV's kind of having this like little mini renaissance where there's actually some pretty decent FMV games these days, which I never thought would be a sentence I would ever say. But
Which, by the way, before we leave that, everybody listening, if you like FMV or Choose Your Own Adventure, play Bandersnatch. It's on Netflix.
I haven't. Oh God, I forgot about that. I got to play that. I got to play that one.
It's so
I just,
good.
Oh, I heard it was good. I just straight up forgot about it. But that one, and the one that really got me into it was The Bunker. Did you play The Bunker?
I think I played all these games, but I can't remember that one. I remember Late Shift.
I love The Bunker. I mentioned it a million times. It's about a guy who lives in a fallout shelter, and he's like the only survivor. Oh, it was a super good one. I love that one.
I think I did play that one too. Yes, I did. Yeah.
Between the two of us, we've hit literally every FMV game to come out in the last 5 years, probably. So.
There you go, people.
There we go. All right, moving on. My number 9, A Plague Tale: Innocence.
Oh, I wanted to play this and I haven't, so I'm interested to see why you loved it.
Well, see, you played What the Golf, I haven't. I've played Plague Tale, you haven't. This is going to be a good list for both of us here. I love A Plague Tale: Innocence. It is a perfect, like, B-tier sort of not a big budget game, but it's not exactly an indie game. And we used to get a lot of these all the time. We don't get so many anymore, but it's perfectly right in the middle, and I think that's a good place for it to be. It's a medieval story about a brother and a sister who, well, I'm not going to spoil the whole thing, but they have some troubles at the beginning of the game. They're on their own, and they're going to try to like find their mom and try to find a safe place to be. At the same time, the countryside is filthy with rats. There's so many fucking rats all over the place. And this game pioneered rat swarm technology, which sounds like a funny thing to say, but when you see it moving in practice, it's kind of crazy. To see a jillion fucking rats on screen, it's really impressive the first time you see it. So
infected rats.
Yeah, they're infected with the plague, and there's all sorts of other stuff. And it's half of a puzzle game, the kind of like environmental puzzles like, oh, I need to get up to this roof, but How can I climb up there? I got to find some object that lets me climb up to the roof or something like that. Environmental puzzles. And half it is stealth because you're just two kids. You're like a little boy and a little girl. The girl is a little bit older. And your brother is basically helpless. So you're kind of like bringing him with you all the time. And you often have to get through like a village where guards are posted, or there's like, a guardhouse you got to get through, or there's a section of enemies or something. And so you're doing like some light stealth. It's not crazy stealth. We're not talking like Metal Gear Solid, put on your octopus camo and crawl along the ground. I mean, we're talking about just like hide behind a box that's bigger than you kind of stealth. But I thought it was a really good balance of gameplay and puzzling. And the thing that really put it over the top, though, was like it's a great looking game, but more than that, the story really gives a shit about itself. Like they really worked hard on the story, and the characters I thought were great. The brother and the sister, their dynamic was wonderful. You meet a cast of other characters. I thought they were all very, very good. And by the end of the game, I really did care about what happened to everybody. I think this was just a wonderful game. It seemed like it kind of got forgotten after it made a pretty strong start, but I want to remind people that this game is out there and this game is wonderful. I would love to see a lot more like B tier, like, quote unquote, double A games like this, because I think that's a real good place for a game to be, where you're not risking the lives of everybody in your studio by trying to go big budget, and it's also not a teeny tiny little indie. Nothing wrong with those, but I enjoy a little bit more variety. The B tier is a great place to be, so I love number 9, A Plague Tale: Innocence.
Yeah, I love the B tier. I live in the B tier, and I think that a lot of people have put this game on their lists. So I saw it start popping up. My big question to you is, and the only reason I didn't start it right away was because you have to hold the kid's hand all the time.
For part of the game, yeah, he's a very fearful kid, and so you have to bring him with you. But I got to be honest, like, it was never a drag. I know that escort missions are always like, oh, those are always the worst missions of every game, and I agree with that too. Like, I'm not a fan. But this is one of the very few games where, like, it just wasn't a big deal. Like, the kid does what you want him to do. Come here or stay there, and bringing him with you by holding his hand is not a big deal. And it also factors into the story too. Like, they play up a lot about how they have a relationship, and it just makes sense. Like, it wasn't a problem. It was never a drag.
Right. Yeah, that's the only thing that stopped me from playing in the beginning, because I don't like the idea of having to be attached to another character for some reason. But there's so many good things in what you said. I will check it out.
Check it out for sure. It's not a problem. So that was number 9, A Plague Tale: Innocence. Carlos, what is your number 8?
Oh my goodness, we have so many games to get through. Looking at all these games. Okay, so number 8. Maybe I'll go quick on this one. This one's easy it's just Wolfenstein Youngblood.
Oh, wow, that's a surprise.
Yeah, maybe it didn't make a lot of people's list. I know there's a lot of problems with it. I put down a couple notes, like, obviously, I didn't like playing co-op with myself, because basically you play as 2 girls, and you have to control one of them, and the other one is AI, and the AI isn't like very good at all. So that's frustrating, especially when you're trying to, take out a bunch of Nazis. But at the same time, I'm a sucker for Dishonored and Wolfenstein and games that are like first person, go in and kick a bunch of ass. And so I just wanted a lot of that at that time. You know what I mean? Like, it just fit the feeling I was in. So it does all the things that Wolfenstein does, and it makes you feel good about taking out areas, and it rewards you with like really kind of interesting, funny banter, or like really over the top story with these characters. And it gives you a home base, which I always like. You go back to the home base, talk to your characters, go back out, do missions. So it just did all the things that I wanted. And I was much more surprised with how the story went and how epic it got. Like, near the end, I was like, oh, this might make my top 10, because just epic scenes of battle. And you just feel like a badass. Like some people love that for Doom for that reason, where you're like, I just like it because I feel so badass. And so, yeah, there's so many epic story moments in this that I had to put it on the list.
Question for you. I know that this is the one, like you said, you play as twin sisters or something.
Yeah.
Can you opt to just not have the sister if you're playing by yourself, or do you have to have the sister?
Have to have the sister. That's why it docked at some points.
Okay, and the AI was not good. Okay, that's what I heard. I heard the AI was not great. And I also heard, I guess I want to know, I've heard some people saying that they did not like how it kind of became like a quasi-RPG. Like, sometimes people were not strong enough for certain areas, and that really put some shooter players off. Did you find that to be a problem?
Yeah, I saw that happening, and it's like a trend with these kind of first-person shooters that want to have RPG elements or something. And at times there was a couple bosses or even just characters are like, whoa, this is way too overleveled. Why? you know. But it was few and far between. So I don't think it was like, it wasn't like Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't like I was dying all the time, but there would be certain areas where I'm like, oh, I'm kind of screwed in this one area. But what's interesting about this is it's similar to Dishonored. You could go another route. You know, so a lot of times I would find people who are like way too strong, but you do not have to fight in that game. Like, it's not a linear path. So lots of times I would see a whole area where like, oh fuck, those guys are like way over leveled. So I would just go another way. Because it's the Dishonored people. What's the guys called?
I don't know what their name is, but I know who you're talking about.
So yes. I think, didn't they? I'm pretty sure that they worked on it. So we don't do research here, but I'm pretty sure they did.
Yeah, this was the one. It was a co-production with them and Bethesda. Yeah, I believe so.
And so yeah, they had like these kind of different paths.
Arcane Studios.
Yeah. So you can go on these different paths. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. My experience, I was like really, again, a lot of these on the list for me are like low expectation, and then being like going above and beyond my expectation.
That's a good place to be, though. Having low expectations and then being really surprised is a good feeling. It's better than the opposite.
Yep.
All right, excellent. My number 8. Yes, that's where we're at. My number 8, Mortal Kombat 11. Mortal Kombat. Have you played Mortal Kombat recently, Carlos?
I don't like the Mortal Kombats. I hate them so much. But let me hear what you think about it.
I used to hate them, but I think it was Mortal Kombat 9 that really turned me around when they gave the combat system a true top to bottom like overhaul, and it just doesn't feel like old Mortal Kombat anymore. I mean, a little bit, but not in the shitty way. Mortal Kombat 11, I mean, I don't mean this to sound dismissive, but it's more of the same. But when they've been turning out like so many awesome games lately, that having more of the same just means it's like more awesome. It's the best combat system they've done so far. I think it's the most flexible. It feels the best. It has the most content, and that's content with a K, by the way. You can have different templates for your character. So if you like have a character that you like, but maybe they have one or two moves that you're not a fan of, you can replace those moves with other things, and you can have different types of that character. So you can be like, oh, well, when I'm fighting, Shao Kahn, I like to have this move, and when I'm fighting, Baraka, I like to have this move or something. And so you can have different templates, which I thought was really cool. So that was really good in itself. And also the story mode is really, I mean, honestly, that's kind of what I keep coming to these games for, because I don't play competitively. I don't go online and fight other people. So I hope that there's usually a good story mode. And God, the story mode in Mortal Kombat 11, it's like a feature film. It's long, there's twists and turns, there's drama. If you're a fan of the series, there's tons of surprises and winks and nudges. It's a time travel story, that's not a secret. And they go back and forth, and they use that to really revisit some past characters and see what they're up to, and how things could have changed. I love the story mode, and more than anything else, I really want to give MK props for their tutorial mode. Their tutorial mode, I mean, it might be the best tutorial that's ever been created for a fighting game. If you can walk into this game knowing absolutely fuck all about fighting games, and if you go through all the tutorials step by step, like, you will be able to hold your own at the end of it. Like, it's really thorough. It doesn't take for granted any knowledge. It really walks you through every aspect of it. You can jump around to get to the parts that you want to see if there's only certain things you're interested in. I love the tutorial. It really helped me a lot with some of the characters that I was not really good at using. I mean, it's like the total package. It's the total package if you like fighting games. And even if you don't like Mortal Kombat, like, you don't like it. I mean, if you don't like it, you don't like it. But I used to fucking hate Mortal Kombat, and I think it's great now. Ever since 9 forward, just better and better and better.
Well, does it also have a lot of that kind of unlockable stuff, I'm guessing, too, right?
Yeah, it's got like a million unlockable things.
Right?
I didn't spend a lot of time because it's mostly just like cosmetics, so I didn't really give a shit. But there are some outfits. There's, different weapons and stuff like that. So yeah, if you want to just like grind on your own and not have to play other people, there's like a million things you can unlock. That'll give you plenty to do.
Was it 9 that was the first time it introduced that, like the kind of crypt section where you could like unlock art and stuff like that?
I don't know if it was 9, but 9 was 10. The first time I think they did a major story mode. That was the first time they figured it out. Maybe it was 10.
Maybe it's 10. Because one of those I did play for a minute. And I started with Street Fighter. I'm an old school fighting game. Samurai Showdown. I can talk about fighting games.
Sure.
So anybody listening, don't think that I don't like fighting games. I'll tell you why I don't like Mortal Kombat in a minute, and it'll be very quick. But I will say that I was into the unlockable stuff in one of the Mortal Kombats. I don't know if it was 9 or 10. And I just did grind because I liked figuring out like how to unlock all the artwork and different stuff. So I'm a collectible guy. But yeah, the short reason why I don't like 11 and probably won't like any of them going forward is because I don't know, it's the empath in me or something, but I can't deal with like just watching people's faces get ripped off and like hearts explode and stuff like that, and also like guts, and so all that stuff is like too real for me. Like it definitely affects me more than other people, I think, and so other people could be fine with it. And if you're listening to this podcast and you're like me, like hit me up on Twitter because we're probably best friends. Because I just the first time I saw that happen, and it switched because we grew up with fighting games. And Street Fighter 2 was probably the best fighting game, I think still is. And it didn't have any gore in it. It was just kind of like about the moves and about the art of it, the fight. And so then as soon as like I saw that first one, I think it was 10 probably, and they were breaking the guy's face, I was like, I can sense that. Like I can sense what that would be like for a human, and I don't need that. Like I don't know, and this is I don't want to go on tangent, but I don't understand, and this isn't I'm not trying to point fingers at people, but I don't understand what is in people that they, A, can deal with it, and B, like it. Because a lot of people are like, yeah, did you see when I took his eyeballs out and ate them? I'm like, whoa, do you hear that? Like, because that doesn't sound like a normal, like there's such thing as normal, but that just seems crazy to me. So is there, just really quickly, what's the thing in you that you can, like, see past it? Is it because you think like, oh, it's just a video game?
It's interesting that you brought this up, dude. I'm actually really glad you brought this up because I actually don't like that stuff either. I don't care for it at all. And I don't think it was in my Mortal Kombat 11 review. I think it was either 10 or 9. One of the big points of my review was this game doesn't need the gore. Like I actually don't like it with the gore in. I think it's gross and distracting. It actually takes away from the game for me. So like when I play, I never do any fatalities. And I don't play with other people, so I'm not subjected to those fatalities. And you'll see him a little bit going through the story mode. You can't avoid it. And it's not like I'm averse to blood. I mean, I like horror movies and I like, action movies and stuff, but I don't get off on doing them. I would be totally fine if Mortal Kombat left them out because I think it's a good enough game now that it doesn't need to rely on the gore. And let's be honest, that's how this game survived. I mean, when it came out in the arcades, it was terrible. And the only reason it survived because it was like shock value of seeing somebody's spine getting ripped out. Like no other games are doing that at the time. That's how they survived. I get it, but we're not there anymore. And this game is so good, it doesn't need it anymore. I don't enjoy it. I don't engage in it. I try to minimize it as much as possible. So I think I'm actually in the same boat with you. Like I enjoy the game for how it plays, and I just like the story mode and stuff. But I don't do the fatalities. I would prefer they're not there.
All right, we should move on because we have a lot of games. But thank you for bonding with me over that.
Validation, bro.
Yeah, validation. Number 7.
Number 7, Carlos. What's your number 7?
This one could be up higher on the list because at times, oh man, I really like this game. Trover Saves the Universe.
Oh man, we have a fan at Game Critics who loves this game as well. One of the writers, Jared Johnston, he loves this game. So let's hear what you have to say about it.
I mean, the really short answer is if you like Rick and Morty or Justin Roiland, you like the game. That's it. I mean, like it's just comedy. There's a gameplay to it, which is interesting, where you. Okay, so it's in VR, or it's not. But if it's in VR, it makes a lot more sense because you basically control a character who's in a chair who is controlling another character. And that's Trover, who's a little character, he looks like a Muppet. And he's running around with his little lightsaber, and he's hitting monsters, right? So that's the whole game. In VR, that makes perfect sense because you're just kind of watching over this character you're controlling, which a lot of games do that. But on the TV, how I played it, with no VR, you are essentially like first person in this view of this character in a chair that can move up and down throughout the world. So kind of like quickly jump up a few levels or quickly jump down a few levels to kind of get different perspective on the land that you're controlling Trover in. So you're still controlling a character in the distance, if that makes sense. But the combat they did is very solid. Like it feels very good when you run, jump, dive, attack. All that stuff feels very good. And so that's the mechanic that you're running around the world with, controlling this little guy to beat up monsters. But it's also basically just the reason to get through a bunch of jokes. And it is nonstop humor. Like you can just find 2 guards and they're just talking to each other and you just hide behind a bush and just listen because it's hilarious. They're just like talking about their world plans for domination or cheese or something. And you're like, I could just listen to this forever. It's just super funny. It's super funny, and the ending's pretty damn rewarding because it really does keep track of a lot of the different characters you meet. And there's a lot of one-off jokes as well. So, characters you'll see for just a few seconds. Man, this game is fun. It's just simple, funny, and if you like Rick and Morty, it's a no-brainer.
There you go. Okay, that was your number 7, Trover Saves the Universe. And that's VR only, correct?
No, yeah, it's both. You can. I played it on TV only.
Oh, you can play it flat. Okay, I didn't know that. Okay.
And it's
Okay,
from
excellent.
Squanch Games, Justin Roiland's company, and he's making DLC for it. So if you buy it now, you'll probably be in time for the DLC coming out.
Excellent, excellent. Okay, cool. Moving on, my number 7, Mutazione. Have you played this one, Carlos? You've heard of this
This
one?
is the second one from the list for me to go. What?
It's Mutazione, Mutazione. This is a 2D hand-drawn narrative experience. I played it on PS4, but I believe it's on everything. It is the story of a girl who gets a phone call, and her grandfather is dying, and she needs to go to him. And her grandfather lives on an island far away, and on this particular island, it's all monsters. Like, he's the only human on this island, and he's gone there to study the monsters. And they're like sentient, you know. They talk, they have feelings. They're not just like beasts. I mean, they're like monsters, but they're actually kind of people. And so you take a boat out to the island. You get together with your grandfather to kind of, you know, settle things with him, help him with what he needs help with. And as you're there, this game actually becomes kind of a simulator as to what it's like to live in a very small community. I don't know about you, Carlos, but I have spent some time in a very small community, and this game fucking nails it. Like, it nails all the good, all the bad, the unavoidable things, the awkward things, the way that when you are in a small space with a limited number of people that you know you're going to be seeing over and over and over again, how that is a much different experience than like living in a big city or just, you know, like a regular city. So Mutazione, I thought, was a wonderful story of this girl and her grandfather. It's also a great story of just the girl herself. And really, the feeling of being in a small community, which is not something that you see in games at all, let alone this well realized, really just nailed it on so many levels. I thought this was just a wonderful, wonderful game. I really loved it.
It's cool, and now you're talking about it, I do remember it, and I think I was going to start it. So yeah, now maybe I'll check it out.
Ah, so good, so good. Love, and the art is just wonderful too. I love the visuals on this. Mutazione, my number 7. Carlos, number 6.
Gee, we play a lot of video games.
We play a shitload of video
I
games.
just noticed that. I'm like, and then we're going to go play more because we're just giving each other and the listeners a bunch of new ones to try out.
I'm playing one right now.
Oh, I've been playing 2 since we started.
Oh, you got
One of them is based on my leg warmers.
Oh, you gotta let me try that one.
It's
dude.
Leg
I'm cold
Warmers
right now.
2. Leg Warmers 1 is better, but Leg Warmers 2 has RPG elements.
Oh, you gotta level up the fur. Okay,
Dude,
got
those
it.
leg warmers. We could go on a tangent with that for a while. Number 6 is Rage 2.
Rage 2. Okay,
Not going to
surprised
be
see
on
this.
anybody else's list, I'm guessing.
I was gonna say I'm surprised to see this one on your list. Tell us about it, sir.
It's, oh man, it's such a good shooter. It is solid as, we can swear, right?
Yeah, we can totally swear. I've been swearing all day.
I've been swearing actually at this podcast. No, it's solid as fuck. The shooting, because basically I'm not the guy who can shoot headshots. I'm not great, right? I'm okay. But this game, after you do it for a while, and just the way that the mechanics work, I was headshotting all over the place to the point of like I would go into an area where a bunch of bad guys are, and I would just like clear the whole area in like a minute. And I don't do that in any game. And also just saying that has a visceral kind of reaction that I want to play it right now doing that. Because what they also do really well is they do this kind of great sound effect when you take out guys, you know, that kind of final shot or something. And it makes you want to, you know, keep doing it. I don't know. There's something in it, some sort of drug that this game has. And now, what is the game? It's essentially a first-person shooter in a post-apocalyptic world with a little bit of humor. Think Borderlands, think Fallout. And it actually has quite a bit of interesting story. I think people see how expansive the land is and how kind of sparse things are because you kind of drive a vehicle, interestingly, third person, around. And a lot doesn't happen, right? There's a lot of stretches of nothing. But when you get to the designated areas where story is, and not just like taking out camps, there's some pretty good story that makes you feel like you're in a Fallout game. So mix that with interesting Fallout story with very good shooting that makes you feel, and it's fun. It's not just like, you know, again, not to knock on Call of Duty, but it's not like super realistic. It's just ridiculous, you know, with power-ups and things floating out of people, like Doom. So
Interesting.
I tell you what, clearly alone, it's on the list clearly because I've never felt as badass in a shooting game ever. And you said you didn't feel as badass like what was it, like in Mortal Kombat? You like got really good at it because of the way it did the tutorial. This thing just it makes you feel badass, and it really feels good.
And you like the way it sounds when you take the life of enemies.
Yeah, I do like that part, which makes me feel bad about myself because, but they're kind of cartoony enemies. The whole thing's cartoony.
Interesting. I'm surprised to hear you pick this one because this one was really anticipated. I was actually looking forward to it myself because I'm a big fan of. Okay, wait. Let me walk that back. I am a fan of Mad Max from Avalanche Games, and
Yes.
I kind of do like. What's the other one they do with the grappling hook all the time? It's got the guy, the main character is named Rico. He like goes.
Oh,
to topple
Just
countries.
Cause, one of my
Just
favorite
Cause,
games of all time. Yeah.
Yeah, I was into Just Cause for a while, so I was like, okay, I love these guys. I'm gonna check out what they do. But man, this one really cooled off. A lot of people bounced off this one, so I did not really get into it. I took it off my list. But now that you're talking about it, I
Dude.
mean, there was something there for you. That's clear.
Dude, put it back in your list. And also, I'm glad we're doing this show just because it's getting me fired up about games. When we finish this podcast, I'm going to go back to that game because there is DLC, and I don't think I finished all of it. And I'm going back to it. Anyways,
All right.
moving on.
Fire it up. Number 6, my number 6, Slay the Spire. Have you played Slay the Spire?
It's on my list. It's definitely in my account. I think I have it. I know of it. Continue.
Okay, cool. Seeing this one make the rounds, a lot of people at Game Critics picked this one this year, so I think that's pretty cool. This is a roguelike deck builder where you basically play the entire game by collecting cards and assembling a deck of cards, and you fight against enemies like kind of 2D fashion. It almost looks like a fighting game, but you're using cards back and forth. One will give you +1 attack, one will give you +1 defense. And of course, like any good deck builder, it's all about finding the synergy between the cards, like finding some cards that have natural combos that work well and building up your character to get through the entire game. I think it's the thing that I like about this. Number one, I think the graphics are really great and appealing. Number two, I think that it's a really good system. They spent a lot of time figuring out the cards, making sure that they're interesting. You can have, at the time that I played it, I think there might be more now, but there was 3 different characters. Each character that you could use felt very different from each other. So even though you were building a deck of cards with everybody, with, one person was like a melee attack kind of a person, one person used poison, one person used elements like lightning and ice and stuff like that. And they all felt very, very different. So the strategies were very different. And the other thing that really put this game over the top was it sounds weird to say this, but the UI. The UI was so clear and so easy to understand. And you could actually learn the game just by kind of playing it and like using your cursor on certain things. And I played it on Switch. I think it's a great place to play it. But like I would often forget like, oh, what does this little symbol mean? If you move your cursor over it, it just tells you. It just tells you right away. Oh, this does this. I'm like, oh, that's right. Okay, so I didn't have to remember a lot of rules. Didn't have to memorize a lot of things. And if you try to make a move in the game that's not a right move, like your character will say, oh, you can't do this because of XYZ reason. So like it's kind of like tutorializing in a way that doesn't force it down your throat, and it gives you the exact information you need exactly when you need it. So that way you're retaining that information because you have the context and it's exactly what you want to know. It was just really easy to learn, and I loved how it kind of. I mean, I don't want to say it held my hand because people associate that with being a negative thing, but I think it did hold my hand in a positive way. Like it helped me where I needed to go, and it taught me how to play. And I think the game itself is really, really solid. The only thing that prevented this game from being higher. Potentially, this could have been top 3 for me, but it's not. It's number 6 because it just really hit my irritation spot because there's 3 characters to beat it with. After you beat it with all 3 characters, there's one final secret boss. And to beat that final secret boss is such an uphill climb. It was really, really, really tough. You have to have all your cards fall in exactly the right way, and I tried it so many times and I got my ass kicked so many times that it was really defeating for me. So even though I beat the game 3 times, I wanted to beat it 4, but I only beat it 3. And I got to say, like, I wish it was a little bit easier on that final run. So that's just my personal, that kind of got under my skin a little bit. But other than that, I think it's a great game, and I definitely would recommend it to anybody who likes roguelikes or deck builders, for sure.
Yeah, and we were just talking about UI in a podcast at work, and it's something that's super important. and people forget it until they realize it's shit. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely. A bad UI can ruin your entire experience.
Yeah, so that is cool to hear that, and I like the deck building. I like the art. I like this a lot of it, but where it loses me probably
I don't know.
roguelike.
Roguelike,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
things that I have to keep doing over and over again. In general, I'm not a big fan of. You won't see those on this list at all, but it's interesting, and I might check it out.
Yeah, that's really the only place where the game falls down because, as we've mentioned before, a good roguelike to me these days gives you a little bit of permanence, a little bit of progression to kind of make you just get one step further every time you play. That you feel like you're making some progress even if you don't win. And that's one place where I think this game falls down. I would have liked a little bit more of progress or a little bit more progression so that you would feel like it's not just a total roll of the dice every time you play. And that's kind of what it felt like at the end, and that's what made it drop to number 6. But it's number 6. I mean, number 6 out of the games of the year.
Yeah.
It's still an awesome game, right? Still a really
pretty
good game. So, all right. Carlos, number 5.
Number 5, and this is going to be a surprise to you, maybe, I think.
I mean, your entire list is a surprise to me so far.
Oh, right, but I mean, because we both played this game.
Oh, okay.
Number 5 is Death Stranding.
Death Stranding at number 5. Okay, we both
Makes the
played
list, makes the list, but not higher up because of obvious reason, which maybe isn't obvious, but I'll tell you.
it. Okay, I'm listening.
It's on the list solely because the same thing we both talked about when we reviewed it. Go back and listen to episode. I'm not sure. What number.
Episode, I'm not sure, was such a good episode.
It was. It was when we talked about Death Stranding. Well, we talked about Death Stranding on 2 episodes, probably. Yeah, I thought the mechanics and the way they did social stuff, online stuff where you basically asynchronous, helped other people, that was genius. It was like levels of genius. You said
Actual
that before.
genius.
Actual
Agreed.
genius.
Yeah, agreed.
Incredible. Blew me away. Was like always surprised. New mechanics. Even though the simpleness of walking around and kind of delivering package, it was actually very meditative. And again, a lot of times these games will go on your list because of the time that you played them, right? You needed a game like this.
Exactly so.
Life was chaos, and I was like, well, if I could just deliver this one package, that'll make me feel better, And that's again where the bonus points come in. But
Let's stay on that for a second, dude, because
Yeah.
I think that you bring up such a good point. I mean, you actually bring up 2 points. Number 1, you need the game that you need at the time you need it, because I know that you have played games that you're not in the mood for. I often will play a game I'm it's not in the mood for this. I mean, that's really key in so many experiences, but also the fact of being able to achieve something. Maybe it's not in real life, maybe it's a video game, but like you said, delivered one package. You felt like you did something, you felt like in some small way. I mean, life is so big and so scary these days. To find any moment where you can just zen out for a minute and just feel like you did something positive is super worthwhile.
Right. And side note, that's why I'm playing Ni no Kuni 2 right now, which we could talk about in a future podcast, is brilliant. And it is that kind of thing okay, I just want to level up, get to this new area and feel like I'm, a little more badass, and it's relaxing. So, yeah, Death Stranding, very good, very weird, not higher on the list because of the story and because I basically didn't believe any of the characters or really care about pretty much anyone. I don't think I cared about anybody in that game.
That's fair.
And so that takes a huge chunk out of it, but at the same time, so much of it was positive and weird and innovative. And again, the game I needed at that point. So, yeah, number 5 is Death Stranding for me.
Number 5, Death Stranding. Okay, my number 5, Blasphemous on the Switch. This was a 2D. I mean, kind of like a Souls-like, but not really. Almost a little bit like a Metroidvania also, but not really. But this is the one coming from, I believe, Spanish developers, and it was just filthy with Catholic imagery and guilt and blood and sin and all sorts of stuff. It was a really dark, really cynical game in a lot of ways, but at the same time, I mean, cynical in the best possible way. Their view of religion, they got a lot to say about it, and I thought that was pretty interesting. But the sprite work was amazing. I think the character design was amazing. I think it was a really well-balanced game in most ways. I think they kind of fucked up with the instant death pits. I wasn't a big fan of those. But other than that, the boss battles were great. And it just, it had this presence and it had this energy. It didn't feel like anything else I played, where these guys were really digging into their own religious iconography and the particular things about Spanish Catholicism that were kind of new to me. So it was kind of like I was learning as I went. I Googled a few things. I'd come across something in the game and be like, oh, what is this about? This has got to have a backstory. And then you would Google it, and it would actually be a real thing that came from their religion. So just really fascinating, and it was just really stark and bleak, and it just really brought like this kind of just the tone. Like, it was really into the tone of the themes. I thought it was really well done, and I haven't played anything quite like it in a while. So I thought Blasphemous was just wonderful.
Did you end up beating it?
I did. I beat it all the way, and I did some of the bonus stuff too. Didn't do all the bonus stuff because some of it's pretty bananas, but I did complete it, and I did most of like all the side quests. They're kind of like hidden Dark Souls type side quests where you sometimes can figure out that it's even a side quest, sometimes not. But I did all those. I had a great time with it. I really liked it a lot. I bought the art book and I bought the physical copy.
All right.
So I liked it a lot.
When you mentioned it on the podcast, I remember just the last thing I was left with is you said some sort of like a priest had like a bunch of knives in him or something.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, everybody's got knives in them in this game. Everybody's bleeding all the time.
Everybody's always bleeding. Yeah, I think I'll skip it, but I appreciate that you like it. I'll say
so
that.
Good. So good. All right, Blasphemous. I loved it. That was my number 5. Carlos, what is your number 4?
Okay, these are the big ones. We're getting there. Well, no, I guess top 3 is, but Far Cry New Dawn.
Oh, okay. All right. Far Cry New Dawn. All right.
This is almost. This could almost be up or higher on the list. Again, I'm a sucker for first-person story games. I say again because I'm not sure if I actually said it the first time, but I'm saying it now. I like first-person shooting, but shooting doesn't have to be the main thing. But yeah, first-person shooter with a good, interesting, weird story. And Far Cry always does something interesting, and I always have liked what weird shit they put on the screen. This one is very, very cool with its ending, and I can't spoil it. But man, what a very awesome, interesting ending. And felt, just weird to have that experience after, I don't know how many hours, probably 1 million hours of going through the game. But why did I pick it? It's based in Montana. It's based in kind of, in quotes, real life. Someplace we know and someplace that could exist and does exist. And you're taking out a cult and a bunch of cults, people and camps and stuff like that. And it kind of doesn't do one thing amazing. It just does a great world that you want to liberate. Something similar to Just Cause, where I'm also a sucker for those games where you just take out camps and you want to go for the greater cause, which is get rid of these kind of crazy people. So, now that I'm talking about it, I don't have a one thing that I love about it. It's just the whole experience felt like a good, long story of taking on a cult, and then the ending left such an impression that I just loved it. I just loved my experience in that world.
Let me ask you, sir, this one was supposed to be a sequel or at least a following game after Far Cry 5? Was it 5? Was that it? Is that correct?
4 or 5? 5. Yes.
Okay, so now I have not played 5. Do you need to play 5 to play New Dawn, or can you just jump into New Dawn?
You can jump in, but they're really good with endings now. I think they're like nailing the ending because I like that's a tangent, but I do like when games don't necessarily have to end. They can kind of leave a little kind of cliffhanger thing. And they've done that quite a bit. And they've also experimented with beginnings. If you remember Far Cry 4, I think, was the one if you just sat at the table in the beginning of the game, you could just end the game. Do you know about that?
I have not really followed the Far Cry series. I do not think I know that.
Well,
but
basically,
that sounds interesting, though.
There's a game where, I think it's 4, where you start and this guy, the main boss, bad guy, he's like, hey, can you just sit here? I'm going to go get us some more food. And you're supposed to, leave so you can go, take out people, But if you just stay there and he comes back, he's like, oh, good, I'm glad you're here. Let's eat. And so you guys come to an understanding over a meal, and then the game's over.
Oh, fuck, are you kidding? That's amazing.
It's fucking awesome. So I went back and did that ending just because I wanted to see what it was like. But yeah, they mess with stuff like that. And I think they're getting better at it. So the ending of 5 is, really cool. And then it leads into this game. But you don't need to have played it. It's just really a cool side note.
Okay, cool.
So I just like the worlds they build. I think I like they're a little janky, kind of like Fallout games and stuff like that. Sometimes but it's just it's a world that I want to exist in, and I usually feel good about the cause that you're doing or something.
And this is the one that's it's all neon and pink and stuff, right? They did something pretty crazy with the visuals. I seem to recall that the world was really bright. It wasn't your typical post-apocalypse, right?
It's just a lot of spray paint because Yeah, really.
Nah, it's just spray paint.
Well, it is because people. I remember that the trailers I was showing that like, oh, it's day glow and all this. No, it's just like a regular Montana. It's like a regular outback area and country and stuff. But then there's like spray paint everywhere because like they decided that that's what they're going to do. They're going to grow flowers and spray paint everything.
Okay.
It doesn't really add anything to it, but
Proliferation of tagging in Montana. Okay.
yeah. And I also had again, very good time with the ending. I wish I could. We'll have to do a spoiler cast that's just all endings for games. Right? I think that would be good.
I mean, we could do it when both of us put together have played enough games and finished enough
played
games.
enough
we could do
games.
several. We could do several podcasts about endings.
No, I'm going to tell you one thing. I'm going to say one right now.
All right, go ahead.
There's a scene, and I don't know if I have a footage of it. I think I do. But you can have a dog. Yeah, you can have a dog, like, companion. And there's, like, an ending where, like, one person's, like, saying, like, these important words to you before they die. You've taken out one of these major bosses, let's say. And they're trying to talk it to you and be like, if you just knew this whole story, And that person's an asshole, by the way. So I just had my dog, like, attack in mid-conversation, and it took the person out, and it was so cool. It went immediately to ragdoll physics,
Yeah.
And the dog was just like, Papao, just shut up. And I was like, oh, what a great moment.
That sounds amazing. I love that. Okay. I'm always down for some dog action in games, so maybe I'll check it out for that purpose. All right. Cool. That was your number 4, Far Cry New Dawn. My number 4, actually, boy, this was quite a coincidence. A different kind of Far. I picked Far Lone Sails.
Oh.
Have you played this one?
No. You're surprising me.
Far Lone Sails is it's kind of a 2D narrative experience, but also it's not really narrative because there's not a lot of overt story. It's more about like tone and feeling. It's a really kind of solitary, meditative thing. You play a small person who is at the end of like a wasteland. Like the entire world has dried up like with drought. And so everything is really dry. The seas have dried up. There's desert and sand all over the place. And you are at the far end of just nowhere. You have a little ship. It's not a car, and it's not quite a boat. It's kind of like in the middle. And you see the ship like a side view. Like imagine like if you cut a ship down the middle and you could see the inside of it, like an ant farm sort of a view. And so you need to pilot the ship across the land. It has wheels and it also has sails and it also has an engine. And so you have to like manage the engine and then, make sure it has enough fuel. And if anything breaks, you got to fix it. Sometimes there's a lot of wind, so you can turn the engine off and lift your sail and the sail will carry you along. You got to go up hills and through deserts. Sometimes your ship gets stuck. You got to get your ship out. But it's all about getting from one end of the land to the other, and it's just you and your ship. And it's interesting because you're just really thinking about like loneliness, being solitary, contemplating like, are you going to make it? What happens if you don't make it? And you're not even really sure what's even waiting for you when you get there. But just you and your ship together, constantly fixing the ship, constantly caring for the ship, giving it more fuel, slowing it down, fixing the wheels, trimming the sail, whatever. Like you're just like, that's the bulk of the game is you managing the ship. And it is so compelling. It is so fascinating. I mean, most of my favorite moments from that game are just nothing going on, but you're just kind of in your ship and things are going well. Nothing's on fire, nothing's breaking, and you're just enjoying it. And sometimes you can get to the bottom of like this empty ocean and the wind is blowing. You turn off the engine so it's quiet and you lift the sail and the sail fills with air. And you can just stand on the bow of your ship and you're just like rolling across this like endless dune. It's fucking awesome.
So it's like meditative.
Really meditative in a lot of ways. But there's also puzzles. There's puzzles because sometimes something will happen to your ship or you got to get through something. I don't want to spoil anything, but there are puzzles. There's light puzzles, environmental puzzles. There's a really, really good story, but it's very environmental. Like it's there. I know some people played this game and missed the story completely, but if you pay attention, you will find what the story is. And I thought the story was great. I thought it was very well done. And the ending I thought was perfect. I love this game from start to finish. I saw this game in a trailer a couple years ago, and I'm like, that looks fucking amazing. I hope it's actually really that good. Spoiler, it is actually really that good. So
nice, that's a good spoiler.
I love it.
And I have so many games now to play after this podcast because I do remember seeing the art for this now when you mentioned the ship, and it's on Steam. And where'd you play it?
I played it on PS4, but I believe it's on everything right now. Even Switch, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, I'm gonna pick it up. Probably pick it up on PS4.
So good, so good. And honestly, it's a short one too. It's another one of those wonderful games that ends when it runs out of ideas. It does not overstay its welcome.
Yeah, that's great. All right.
Far Lone Sales is my number 4. Okay, now we are in the home stretch of the top 10. We are in the top 3. These are the big dogs. These are the ones that we had the best time with. I don't know that they're going to be anybody else's top 3, but I feel like these are going to be games that we loved and that people listening to this podcast might love also. Carlos, your number 3 of 2019. Fanfare, music, horns, drum roll.
Yeah, I think some of these are going to be on other people's lists. Definitely, I think mine.
Okay.
Number 3 is definitely on people's lists. It is Control.
Control, number 3. Okay, tell us about it, sir.
So Remedy, I love the developer. I love Alan Wake. I really do like these games that they make, and I love this game. I'm going to start off by saying the problem I had with it, which is the ending, which we mentioned on this podcast, I think, gets way too difficult. Well, by the way, that sounds familiar. You just said it earlier in this list. And that's just a frustration when you go through something and you know, they build you up to feel badass and more badass and give you more powers or whatever. And so I felt great the whole way through. I never felt like I was really stuck too many times. And the ending, like literally the last 5 to 10 minutes, they just threw all these like bosses at you, and you're like, okay, well, there's no reason for that. So besides that, get that out of the way. It's visually stunning, well acted. You can see, you know, these characters are so modeled after the actors. The video game looks like, you know, real people.
And I'm sure people know, but tell us real quick in a nutshell what this one is about in case people don't know.
Yeah, totally. You play a woman who is going to a building. Again, I like keeping this one pretty elusive too, not saying too much. But you go to a building that you're trying to figure out where your brother has gone. And it's a really interesting office building because it looks like an office building. Number one reason it's almost on this list is because the aesthetic of this game is unbelievable.
Super cool, super cool.
It's like modern building, but also like traditional. So you could definitely see like a bunch of offices that look like an office that you might work at, and then like really weird, like futuristic brick and weird levels, and all of a sudden it gets twisted, and you're like, wait, am I in another world? And they do that all within one building. And so she's going there to figure something out, also maybe find her brother, and yeah, like a lot of video games, gain powers and kind of change and morph as she goes through it. So that's all I'll say about the story. But the action is really good. They have like kind of telekinetic powers. They have different abilities with guns that aren't really gun-like, which is very interesting. And so there's so many new things that they throw at you in this game. And on top of that, it's really about this beautiful environment that just, I mean, some of the screenshots have been on my wallpaper forever. Because,
same, dude, same.
Yeah, they're just unbelievable. And you're like, how did they even think of that? Like architecture-wise, just like, and a lot of times the building itself, because it has like many levels. It's not a normal building. It's kind of like a very weird magical building. It actually morphs in front of you. So you watch how they actually planned some of these walls to be like changing, and they change and they turn into something else. That's all I'll say about it. But I will say one more thing. That has probably the best action scene with music.
Sure, the ashtray maze
that I've ever seen in my life. Like I'm like, what is happening right now? And metal started playing, heavy metal music.
It's pretty badass. That is a pretty amazing sequence.
Yes, and I did die once in it because it's a little tricky because sometimes you don't know where you're supposed to go because it's so maze-like. And anybody who's played it will know what we're talking about. And if you haven't, you want to play this game almost just for that scene. And then, yeah, I'll take that ending. Weird that it was too difficult because the whole experience itself was just something that I was looking forward to, and it didn't disappoint, really. I just, like, had a great time.
Good pick. Good pick. I enjoyed Control quite a bit, but that is your number 3. I agree with everything you said. Good pick. My number 3, now, this is a weird one for me because every time I look at my list, I'm like, why is this game number 3? But then I go back and play that game, and I'm like, yes, I remember why this is number 3. In fact, I just played it last night. I was about to delete it from my Switch, and I'm like, I should just stop playing this. And then I went back and started playing it, and I ended up playing it for like an hour. And like every time I play this game, I find something fucking new about it, and it just is so rich and nuanced, and it doesn't seem like it would be at all. My number 3 is Door Kickers Action Squad on Switch.
Oh, yes. I remember you talking about this.
So this is a 2D game where you play a SWAT team going into random buildings and killing bad guys. That's all it is. It's so simple. It seems like, why am I even talking about this? But number 1, they nailed the graphics. Graphics are beautiful. Number 2, nailed the animation. The animation's great. Number 3, controls are fucking dead on perfect, which is wonderful. But the thing that really sells this game is that it's really, really nuanced. It didn't have to be. You don't think it would be. But you have, I think, six or 5 different characters to pick from. And at first, it seems like there's not really that much difference between them. But as you play, you're like, oh, Jesus, these guys are all really different. And the moment-to-moment gameplay that you have to do with each character... I mean, the guy that uses the shotgun plays wildly differently from the guy who has the M16. That plays wildly differently from the guy who has the hunting rifle. That plays wildly differently from the guy who has the shield. I mean, like, you're doing the same levels, and you think it's going to be the same, but, like, I was just playing it last night, and I started doing the shield guy, and I'm like, God damn, like, this guy plays so much differently from the other people. My strategy totally had to change. The way that my pace totally changed.
Is the shield guy melee, by the way?
He can be, but he also has a pistol too. So he's got less firepower, but his shield can have little options on it, and obviously we're more defensive because he's got a shield, but like it just changed so much. Like it just was really fascinating to me. And there's also tons of enemy types where they all do something slightly differently, so it always keeps you on your toes. And plus the levels are really bite-sized. You can finish a level in like 5 minutes. And so I like the ability to jump into a game, get a really rich, high-quality, nuanced action experience in like 5 minutes. And plus, you can just finish it, and that's fine. But you can go back and get some stars if you play perfectly. And I've gotten like all stars for like all levels so far because I've really just put in the time, because I find it to be so rewarding, and I just really, really like how this game plays. It's just so well designed from top to bottom. And it's really deceptive because the title is kind of stupid. Like, Door Kickers Action Squad sounds really generic. Doesn't really tell you anything about it. Looking at the screenshots, looks like a random pixel-based indie game. Look, nothing that would really catch your attention. But god damn it, they fucking nailed this thing so hard. It is so good, and I just can't stop playing it. And I literally find something new to love about it every single time I play. Like, I love this game so much. I want people listening to the show. If you listen to this show, please try this game. I guarantee that you will like it.
Yeah, you told me about it, and I definitely have it on my list to play, and I will, especially after hearing it so high on the list. My question to you is there a story that you beat, and that's the ending of the story?
No, there's no story at all. No story. It's just straight up action. That's all it is.
Okay, which makes it addictive, right? That's the addictive probably part of it, where you go, I just want to do one more level again because you
exactly.
Yeah.
One more level, like you save everybody except for one hostage. You're like, God damn it, I got to go back and save that last person. Or like you want to do like a little bit better, or you want to change your tactics or something. There's always something to do. And it's just, just like I said, going through with a different character makes it a whole new game. It's fucking amazing.
What's the playability too, right? Like, so remember when I mentioned Warp Through, that kind of super indie game?
Yeah.
I go back and play that just because, like, I like the slowdown effect. I like running through portals, getting portals and stuff. It's just that loop that feels good. So, yeah, it seems like the loop for this game is awesome. So,
it's so good, so tight. Do not be put off. Don't think this is random and generic. I can understand why anybody would pass this up in the eShop, but play it on the Switch. I think the Switch is the perfect place to play it, and this game kicks ass. It's so good.
I will say this. Next year, for our Game of the Year, I will definitely have more Switch games on my list, and I apologize for listeners that I don't have one right now. I did have one, but for some reason, it got left on a plane, and someone took it, which we could still brood over, and maybe we do. And maybe I'm speaking about myself in the Wii now.
It's okay to be a little bitter. It's fine. The royal
Wii is
bitter.
still brooding. Yes. No, but I'll tell you this: I'm getting a Switch Lite because for Christmas I got a gift card for Best Buy. So picking up a Switch Lite because I do travel a lot, and so next year I'm just saying a bunch of these Switch games you mentioned. I'm sure I'll be mentioning some next year.
Yeah, like I didn't do it on purpose, but like half my list is fucking Switch games.
It's Switch games. Yeah, you're Switch heavy.
Yeah. All right. Number two, Carlos, number two.
Dose, for me, man, this should be number one. This is tough.
Do you want it? You got time. You can switch it.
Fart. I don't. I'll keep it. Fuck.
Keep it? No, switch it. Come on, you're having angst. What are you gonna do?
Nintendo Switch it. Oh. You know what? I'm gonna keep it 2.
Okay.
and I'm going to say it could also be 1. You
Okay,
know what I mean?
that's fair. That's fair. Sure.
It's Greedfall.
Greedfall, motherfucker! I gotta play Greedfall. I want to play it so bad.
Motherfucker, you have
I gotta play it. I bought it. I have it.
I mean, look how high it is on my list.
I gotta play it, dude. I played the first half hour and I thought it was great, but I did not have time to play it at that time, and then I forgot about it.
So this is we talked about earlier, like what was it, B-level games or whatever, double A.
The double A tier, the B tier, yeah.
Yeah. So I live in that space. I love that space. I love games that have enough meat on their bones to be an awesome video game too, but maybe people aren't looking at. And I mean, this is an RPG, straight up, RPG that has different types of ways that they put the game together. Like a lot of traditional JRPGs or Western RPGs, you'll get the same of the same, and you know what the game's like before you even go into it. I always know how to level up. I know magic, all that stuff. This is, set more closely set in reality. I say that, but there's monsters. But I mean, like, there's some sort of grounding to it, right? Again, this and Elex, games like this, if you played Elex, there's a similar vibe.
Elex is the shit.
It's a shit. It's a kind of a grounded vibe. You play in these colonial times, fictitious colonial times, and you start off as a character maybe you don't like. Like I didn't like where the character was coming from and the upbringing, etc. But then you pick your own path. You really do pick your own path, and you side with different factions. And there's so many different factions. These guys do factions very well in games. I'll talk about them in a future podcast. But yeah, I think they do a very good job of making you feel invested in the world quite quickly. And you can play a whole RPG and not even start the game, as you did, I think.
Yeah, I spent all my time in the tutorial area, and I was like, man, there's so much stuff to do here. I'm not ready to leave yet. So,
that area is actually pretty important. The area I'm speaking about is like the first city you start in, and in that city,
it's like the beginning of the game.
Yeah, it's epic, and I love the art style. By the way, another reason why it's on the list, I love the kind of 17th century version of what they thought this world would look like. So it borrows from reality, but again makes it their own. So I'm a big architect fan of the architecture and control, hit that nerve for me as well. So the world's beautiful. You have this huge epic story that takes place before you even start the game, which is you getting on a ship and going over to another island and trying to figure out what's going on over there with magic and monsters and whatnot. But yeah, I loved it because the combat felt great. I always wanted to, find out what the story was going to present me, what kind of choices it would give me, what my choices would mean, because they really do make a difference. Some factions, straight up just did not like me, and that made big differences. So, yeah, one of my favorite types of video games is this game, which is third-person action RPG with massive choices and really making you feel like what you do in the game matters. And so that's why it's number 2. Any game that comes out like that fits those little check boxes, will be high on any new future list. And I will say also that, it did talk to the native in me, because like Native American feel is going on here. When you see these tribes that are on this this island, they're different, and you have to side with them or not side with them. And of course, being Native American, I sided with them immediately. And that bond that I felt with them against like the, in quotes, invaders was special, right? Like I don't know where I could get that experience.
It's not something that pops up very often.
No. And so for me to feel like, oh, I'm really doing this thing that feels like I'm siding with, my ancestors in a way. I know that's might be over the top, but it's how I felt. And I really liked the ending. I can't say enough good things about it. I want more games like this all the time, always.
Oh, fuck, dude. What I really need right now is like a time machine so I can go back and play all these games. Because I loved the first, whatever time I spent in Greedfall. Like I said, I played it a little bit. I thought it was great. I really want to go back and play it. I'm trying to think of how long did it take you to finish it? Do you know, roughly?
I got nuts because, a game that I love, I'll go and do a million side missions.
Sure.
So, yeah, it's in that 40-hour, 50-hour range, probably. I think.
Okay, that's not. I thought you were going to say like 100 hours or something like that.
Oh, I probably spent 80, 70 or something like that. I spent quite a bit, yeah. But I think you can go mainline Yeah, 40 or something like that. By the way, a fun fact is, I think I mentioned it on the last podcast we talked about it, but at the end, all the different factions can like you or not like you. All of them didn't like me except the native culture.
But that was a valid ending, right?
It was a valid ending, and I guess one of them was indifferent, but the rest of them did not like me because I was like, no, I'm going to side with these guys.
Well, I appreciate a game that gives you choice like that, and I think this one caught my attention right away. I liked what I saw. I really got to get back to it. I want to play this for sure. Fuck, dude. I need time. I need more time to play games because there's no way to get through all these games. But I'm glad you picked Greedfall. I've heard a lot. Everybody that I talked to who played it really liked it a lot, and I really got to get to it. It's kind of got that. Would you say it's kind of got like a vaguely like a Mass Effect sort of a Dragon Age vibe because you get a party and the stuff that you do, kind of like that?
I should have brought that up. That's the biggest selling point. People are like, "Hey, do you want a new Dragon Age game? Well, play Greedfall." There you go.
That's what I heard. I heard a lot of people say it was like a better version of Dragon Age because not everybody loved the last one.
That I would not agree with because I loved the last one, and those people are wrong. No, I'm just kidding.
We better pause because I have feelings on that one. But we don't have to talk about that
Dragon
now.
Age podcast coming up next.
Oh man, okay, all right, okay. So that was number 2, Greedfall. I think that's a really good pick. I'm glad you picked that one. I'm glad I needed the reminder, and I think a lot of people out there need a reminder as well. Greedfall is a thing that we should interact with. Okay, cool. My number 2, it's already come up once in the podcast. Death Stranding, number 2. I gotta say, it was really close to being number 1 for me, just on the strength of its mechanics. Now, you did a really good job of explaining the mechanics, the online integration, how it works. I mean, that moment when I realized that the actual landscape of Death Stranding was changing based on my behavior and the behavior of other people online, that was pretty mind-blowing. Like, I wasn't even sure that I was even seeing it. Like, I was like, am I imagining this? Is this true?
And so many times people like say that about a game. You know what I mean? They're trying to make it a selling point or whatever. Yeah. And this one actually did it.
It really did. And I went back to, I mean, I talked to other people online at the time, and like nobody was sure if that's what was happening. We kind of thought it was. You look at the reviews, and a lot of the reviews, because they played the game pre-release, didn't have the online integration or not as much. And so I don't think any of the reviews even mentioned that, which I think to me is like one of the biggest, coolest things about the entire game. So like a lot of these early reviews didn't even see the best part of the game, which is fucking mind-blowing. But that online integration, the landscape changing, the de-emphasis of combat to where a lot of times you can get through many missions in a row where you're not fighting, punching, or shooting anything, was amazing. And just like you said, that feeling of doing something positive, going from point A to point B, bringing a box, delivering the box, and just being able to say that I did something was great. I mean, a lot of my favorite moments in this game were, you know, like I'd crest a hill and I could see my target in the distance, and there was nothing between me and that target except for like a field of flowers or like a rocky shore or something, and you're just like walking and you can hear the crunch of your boots and the wind blowing and the sun, and you're just like walking and carrying that thing. Like it's a pretty cool feeling. Like, video games are all about shooting and doing, and this is a game where you're still doing something, but it's so passive in a way, and yet you're still actually, responsible for like where you put your feet and how you get there. I mean, really great emphasis on so many things, a really great new viewpoint about how to approach a game like this. I thought it was wonderful. And that online stuff, really true genius. The reason this game did not end up being my number 1 was also because of the thing you observed. The story is flaming horse shit. The story is terrible. The characters are flat and lifeless. I didn't care about anybody in this game. Even the baby, dude. Like, even the baby that's strapped to your chest, you would think that would be so easy to, like, get the feels for and bond with. And it was fine. But I really didn't have very many strong feels for the baby. Even if you can't feel something about a baby, you're doing something really wrong in your game. And when oh my god, dude,
it's not Baby Yoda. Let's just say that.
I mean, dude, can you man? What if they had DLC where it was Baby Yoda? Wouldn't that be amazing?
I'm listening.
I'd be back in, dude. But I mean, honestly though, there were so many good ideas in Death Stranding. There was probably at least 6 different ideas that you could build an entire game around. They didn't pick any of them. They shoved all of them in there. None of them are developed. None of them really go anywhere. And when you get to the final end of the game, it's just like a bunch of fucking metaphysical diarrhea pouring out of someone's mouth that doesn't make any sense.
Oh, that's terrible.
It is terrible. It's terrible to sit through that. And it's just like I was like, I was stunned at how badly written it was. It wouldn't pass script writing 101. It didn't make any sense. It was fucking stupid. I just was like, man, anybody that thinks Hideo Kojima's a good writer, y'all better just check yourself because you are living in a fantasy world. Okay, the dude is a genius.
And switching it to the positive again, because it's number 2, I will agree with you on the storytelling too. Not storytelling, the stories that you can tell. Mm-hmm. Right. So like,
absolutely.
So many games that I love are these worlds that developers build that you can make your own stories in, aka Skyrims of the world, etc. And yeah, when you were talking about your story, I remembered a flashback of being on a mountain and that terrible evil oil covering me and almost taking me out, but me surviving somehow, going back and finding my bike, cleaning it off, put my packages back on, driving back down the hill, hitting all these rocks, almost tumbling over, and then making to the other side when the sun was like setting or some shit, and like,
yeah,
holy crap, that moment was incredible, and that game provided that moment,
Yeah, there's tons of moments like that. I mean, the first time you set up a really cool zip line is amazing. I mean, you can have like a lot of funny fails, like when you fall when you don't mean to, or like sometimes you save yourself and you're like, oh my god, I can't believe I made that, or like you crest a hill and you're struggling, and then all of a sudden somebody left a fucking car there for you, and you're like, oh my god, there's a car here, that's amazing, I needed a car so bad, and there's a car right here. Like there's so many, like those little emergent moments. This game is full of emergent moments, and those are really the best part of the game. So
dude, that one time I ran and did, these quests are super long, right?
Yeah,
and it takes you forever, and you're like, holy shit, I made it down the hill, blah, blah, blah. I made it to my destination, and I was like, I don't know, 50 feet away from it, just like, and I decided to start booking it for no reason, just running. And I fell on my face, and I ruined the pizza. And the whole
you dropped the pizza.
Fucking mission was done.
Yeah, you do deliver pizzas in this game.
It was a pizza or a burger or some shit that got smashed, and I was like,
oh, it's definitely pizza. Yeah.
Dude, do you mean that I did all that for nothing? And I went to the corner and I cried for about an hour, and then I didn't pick up the game for a while. But
yeah,
I had that experience,
That's a hard loss, yeah. The emergent stuff is great. Mechanics are great, and I just wanted to be very clear about why it was. It was so close to being my number 1.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Yeah, I just couldn't. The story was just so bad. So that was my number 2. Still loved it. I feel a lot of it's real genius. Emergent moments are great. Number 2, Death Stranding. Now, Carlos, number 1, best game of the year. That was almost number 2, as we just heard you go through your angst a minute ago.
Yep.
Almost number 2, but it is number 1. Carlos, what is your number 1 of 2019?
I think I picked it right because I love Greedfall to death, but there's definitely a couple like mechanic hiccups and stuff. And this number 1 game has, I think, no hiccups. I think it's perfect experience. But before I leave that, I just remembered Greedfall 2 also has my favorite combat role for melee.
You remember the melee role?
It is literally the best role I've ever experienced in a game. Play it for that reason. Okay, number 1.
Shout out to the role.
Shout out to the role, combat role. Number 1. Outer Worlds.
Oh, wow. Okay, I did not see this coming. Okay, I'm surprised.
So I'm a big fan of Fallout. I love story. I love choices. Obviously, I Fallout New Vegas. Who doesn't? These guys come in and make a new video game right when I need it. Again, this is timing. Lots of these are like, what could I use right now? Another Fallout New Vegas? Well, here you go. Here's a Fallout New Vegas, essentially, in a new world, new IP. You play as a character who basically gets unfrozen, similar to Fallout, and you've got to figure out how to save a bunch of people. Let's just put it that. And there's a crazy old scientist. He's kind of like Doc Brown from Back to the Future. And you interact with him. But what it really is a huge galactic map of many, many planets and moons that you travel to in your spaceship and meet different characters, and again, meet a bunch of factions and make big decisions for everybody. And the very beginning of the game, you make a massive decision. And again, I like to go against the grain and pick decisions maybe that other people don't pick. And I saved a bunch of people, but by doing that, I basically damned a bunch of people. And I had to live with that choice. So there's a lot of choice. There's a lot of great characters. This game is number 1 on my list mainly. I shouldn't say mainly, but it's high up there because it has one of my favorite NPCs. You have a character that joins you, Pavarti, and she is voiced by Ashley Birch, which you might know. And basically, I just feel like immediately drawn to her, immediately care about her well-being, and her story is very interesting and different. And I remember like I was supposed to be doing this main goal mission, and she was like, "Yeah, but can you help me get ready for this date or something?" And I was like, "Yeah, you know what? Yeah, I can, because I want to go get a drink with you and hear about your story." I don't know why. I just felt so compelled to know about this character. I went on many side missions that had nothing to do with the main mission. So, yeah, I think it's got fun melee, which I'm a big fan of first-person melee. And it has great leveling up. So I felt very, very badass at the end. And it doesn't do that thing where, like, now you have to do a whole different mechanic. It's like, no, if you build up your melee, my like one-handed weapon was 100, out of 100. Then you're going to be a badass. And you're going to take people's heads off. And I definitely didn't want to take as many heads off as I did. But this game is great for the action. It's great for the story choices. I love New Vegas. It's pretty much more of New Vegas. I could talk about it forever. I just really, really like how I can make choices, and they really made a big, big difference. And I love the ending. So I liked it top to bottom. It was just a straightforward first-person RPG with lots of choices, and I got to be melee. And that's I can't ask for more than that.
Outer Worlds, number one. I'm surprised. I knew you liked it. I didn't think you liked it that much. So that actually is a surprise to me. Although I can't say I don't know what I was expecting, but that wasn't what I was
because like
expecting.
if you put the two different favorite games Carlos has for video games, I think they're the top two that I just mentioned. It's first person shooting or melee with an interesting story that you can affect the world, and there's lots of choices, right? That's huge on my list. Like Dishonored, I love it. And the second type is third person RPG. And that's what Greedfall is. So it makes sense that those are my top two.
Makes perfect sense. All right, congratulations to The Outer Worlds. That is Carlos's number one for 2019. Congratulations to everybody involved. My number one is a game that we already discussed. I picked Control as my number one best of the year. Yeah. I loved it for all the reasons that you loved it. I think the mechanics were great. I mean, having telekinesis, probably the best telekinesis that's ever been done in a game. I think if it's not the best, it's among the best.
It's done very well.
Yeah, it's super smooth, it's seamless, it's easy, it works the way you want it to work. It doesn't get funky. Like it's so easy to use. Your gun, which is like a magical gun, is also really easy to use, and so the developers have a really good mechanic of making you use your telekinesis, and then after you use that, you often will switch to your gun and then kind of go back and forth. Keeps the action fresh. It's very fast, very frenetic, very furious, but it feels good. Like I never felt like I was struggling. I mean, I died. I mean, it's not like I never died, and it definitely gets hard at certain parts. But I always felt like I could hang. If I went back and tried again, like I could try something different. I had enough tools at my disposal where I could really deal with almost any situation. It's fast. There's no cover. It's not stop and pop, and so you're constantly like running and jumping and floating and hiding, and I mean you're kind of just like running around, and you're always doing something. You're never just like stuck behind a place waiting for our dude to pop his head up, which I thought was really great too. Very fast, very frenetic. Your observations about the atmosphere and the architecture are totally spot on. I think the level that you're in is called The Oldest House. Number one, badass name. How cool of a name is that?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And like like you said, the moving walls, you never know what's around the next corner. Like it's full of question marks. It's just full of surprises. And the overall tone of the world was right up my alley. Reminded me very much of like an X-Files or like Cabin in the Woods or Warehouse 13 or something like that, where it's like supernatural, but there's also a good dose of reality, people dealing with the supernatural and other dimensional kind of stuff. A lot of questions that pop up, a lot of weird things, and not everything gets an answer. And I think that's fine. I think that as video gamers, we tend to want to have like a wrap up for every single thing, which I don't think is always a good way to go. Sometimes the question is better than the answer. Sometimes just wondering itself is good enough. And there was a lot of that in this game, like a lot of things that were weird just because you didn't know why they were weird. Why does this rubber duck have the ability to explode? Why does this mirror open up into a mirror dimension? Where does this big fucking alien come from? Like, you just don't know. Sometimes you just don't know. Like, you don't always get the answers when Cthulhu shows up. He doesn't sit there and tell you his master plan. Like, sometimes you gotta just roll with it. And I really like that feeling. I don't want that feeling all the time, but in a game like this, where there's mystery, science fiction, weird kind of like interdimensional stuff. I think it was great to just kind of roll with it. And the thing that go ahead, yeah.
I was gonna say, well, they did that with Alan Wake, and it felt like Twin Peaks, you know. And,
No, very much.
And you're
very
like,
much.
yeah, I don't know what is real and what isn't real, and I love that.
Yeah, yeah. It's got a really good quality where you never know what's going to happen. And all the side quests I thought were just fucking fascinating. Like, it was always something different, always something weird. You were always going to go do this weird thing. Like, sometimes you're fighting this giant mushroom monster. Sometimes you just got to get, like, a flamingo out of a closet. Sometimes you got to do... Like, you just never knew what was going to happen. Visuals were great. The ashtray maze, like you observed, probably one of the best action sequences of any game this year. Definitely at the top. I mean, the music kicks in, the pace of combat, the visuals going on, just like really top tier shit. And I'm glad you brought up Twin Peaks because there was a lot of it that really reminded me of Twin Peaks. The janitor is a very special guy. He is really weird, and there's more to him than you think, and he's got all sorts of strange stuff. When you explore the janitor a little bit, that's like a whole rabbit hole to go into, and I thought that was really fascinating. Really liked it a lot. Very, very Lynchian stuff over there. So overall, I mean, I thought Control was great. There's DLC coming, which I'm really looking forward to. I think there's already been one piece of DLC released. I haven't gotten to it yet.
It's just like you just play missions over and over again. It's like not really like a story thing, I think.
There should be some story DLC coming.
Yeah.
But overall, I liked it. I do agree that the end game got a little bit too hard. It didn't have to be that hard. That was a little bit of a bummer. But I powered through after gnashing my teeth and cursing at the screen a little bit. But overall, I loved the visuals. I loved the action. I loved the themes. I loved the style. I loved everything about it. And I thought it was wonderful. This is definitely Remedy's best game by a mile. And I never would have imagined that after not really clicking with every game they've ever done, that they made one where I'm like, wow, this is bananas. They totally nailed it for me. So my number one, Control.
And I remember like the whole year, like being interested and excited because they did a really good job with like a lot of developer diaries things, and I was just following it for a while. So weirdly enough, my expectation was pretty high, and it didn't disappoint it too much. You know, I would say that the couple small things besides the ending, which was too hard, was like a lot of the things you pick up you don't really need.
That's true. Yeah.
So it seemed like that was the only thing, and it didn't really annoy me because you just don't use it. But there's like so many in quotes power up type stuff, and you like can consolidate all of them and use like 3. So I don't know why there was so much pickup collectible stuff.
Yeah, that's actually true. Like some of your powers were way more useful than others. And like those little items that you pick up, there was a lot of futzing in the menu. I mean, this is kind of like high level grousing here, but like, you know, like you would get a power up and it would be like gun damage like plus 2% or something. Those are like really boring power ups. Like I want to get a power. I would rather have nothing, but then when I get a power up, like it's like, oh shit, like this is like way better or something. You know, like a really noticeable, significant power up. They did not nail the power-ups in that game.
It's mainly like you have the main mechanics pretty early on. You're like, I'm going to just use this the whole time. That being said, I think I finally did go back and beat it because there's like an other part after the ending.
There is. That epilogue is crazy.
It's crazy because I finally got to play it because I got so mad that I hadn't beaten it. And yeah, that was very weird. And it goes on for a while.
It's actually a surprisingly significant epilogue. I don't want to spoil anything of it, but I didn't know it was coming. I did not expect that, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And it was totally cool. Yeah,
you get kind of like, it's like a puzzle. So like people who have not beat it, go back and beat it because there's a really interesting puzzle at the end of it.
It's super interesting. I want to say really quickly also, one of the biggest complaints I heard about this game was about the ending. Not necessarily that it was hard, but just like people felt like the story didn't wrap up, or they felt unsatisfied by the end. A lot of people said they were mad by the ending. I didn't get that at all. I felt like the ending was really appropriate. I felt like given the themes and the story so far, that was really the only thing you could expect. And I'm really surprised that people had such a strong negative reaction to the ending. I thought it was fine. I thought it was perfect. I mean, if you like Twin Peaks, if you like the X-Files, if you like any of those games, how were you ever expecting anything else from this game? I don't understand that. So
yeah, you should expect it because like I think even the end of Alan Wake was like a question mark.
Super ambiguous. Yeah, super ambiguous.
Yeah,
and I don't think this game is even that ambiguous. I think it's just like, I mean, I don't want to ruin it here, but I think it just makes perfect sense because it's just a continuation of exactly what you've been doing the entire time. So
yeah, and the ending to the epilogue makes sense too now that I'm
totally does.
Yeah,
totally does. So.
All right, that's a good pick for number 1 as well. I can see that being why it was number 1. Mine was, what was it, 3? So it's not too far off.
We were very close. We were very close. So, all right, folks. Those are our top picks for 2019. That is quite a list, and I gotta say we got through that in pretty good time. But don't go anywhere just yet. This show is not over. Before we leave lists, a couple honorable mentions. I think I have some honorable mentions. Carlos, you have some honorable mentions. Games that were super good but didn't quite make the cut. You got a few?
I have two.
Okay, lay them on me, sir.
I could pick a lot more, but I feel like for time. One is Wadham.
Wadham, that just came out recently.
Because I'm playing it just now, and it couldn't have made the list. But it is, it's like Hideo Kojima. It's like certain directors. You go like, this is a style of game. This is a story that this type of creator is making. Could you look up Katamari Damacy's developer? What's this guy's name?
It's Keita Takahashi.
Yeah, right. So it's his vision, right? And if you played Nobi Nobi Boy or Katamari, you know the vision. You can see it. You can sense it. It's an abstract wonderfulness. It doesn't make sense, like we were saying. Sometimes it doesn't have to. And it is just beautiful for its weirdness sake. And Wadham is that with a little bit of storytelling and messaging in it. You can still see there's themes that he's trying to get across, and very interesting side moments where you're like, well, I didn't see this coming, which you think it's just a playground, a kind of a fun toy box to play with these characters, what it looks like from the trailer. But there's also a little deeper meaning there, and I think the simplest meaning is, bring joy into the life. Don't just think about negativity. Look at things differently and explore. And what a beautiful time for this game to be here, because I think society in general needs this.
Yeah, the world needs this.
The world needs Wadham. That should be the box quote.
Email them right now and tell them.
I think I might tell them that after this. And yeah, so it definitely would made my top 10 if I had played it earlier, because it's such a genuinely really cool experience.
Yeah, it just came out like last week or something like that. So
yeah.
A little bit late in the year for that, but okay. But Wadham, what's your other one?
Division 2 with an asterisk.
Okay.
Not necessarily for the shooting, because Division 2 is essentially Division 1, but the world building they did in Division 2 kept me in that game for, I want to say, 30 hours of just like one player, not multiplayer, running around the world looking at this thing they built, because it is breathtaking. I mean, it really is this unbelievably detailed world that feels good, and the physics, feel really like heavy, like the character feels like a real character walking through these environments and jumping the fences and stuff. And I just was exploring that world. Like, yeah, it was kind of fun to level up, and it's like an MMO shooter, right? Like you have bullet spongy enemies and you're leveling up your gear and finding rare loot. So it's like an MMO essentially, especially when you start playing with other characters or other players. And I did a little of that. And, I didn't get full in the story, but it's mainly about just exploring this world. So it's a mention because it is really a memorable moment this year of me seeing a world that was so fully realized.
Excellent. Okay, cool. Those are your two honorable mentions. I have a couple honorable mentions here. I'll go through them really quickly. One is Refunked. That is a first-person parkour game. It's a very short indie game. No combat, just really chill and meditative, and it has another real positive message to it too, which I really liked. That's one of those games that was exactly the right kind of game at exactly the right time, and I'm glad that I played it. So Refunked is really, really good. I played World War Z. Surprisingly good. I thought that would be a trash fire, but it was really, really fun in co-op. I don't know that I would play it single player, but I played it with my wife, and we had a blast. It recalled like Left 4 Dead.
Yeah.
In the good ways, and the mechanics were great, and the little story missions were great. I had a really fun time with it. Really good, solid like weekend game. Blast through it in 2 days, and just you're done with it when you're done. But I thought I had a great time.
Yeah, I played it for one player for a little bit, and I liked the world building a little bit too. That was cool.
Yeah, it's not bad at all. Tangle Deep is a game that I played really early this year, like either January, February on the Switch. It was almost going to be on my top 10, but I just ended up not putting enough time into it. It's a 16-bit SNES style roguelike where you have a lot of world building. You have, I think, like 12 different characters to pick from. Wonderful mechanics, wonderful graphics, wonderful gameplay. I just ended up falling away from it because I got really busy. It was something that I was not reviewing at the time, and so I couldn't spend time on it. I had to leave it. But I plan to come back to it. There's going to be some DLC, and if you like 16-bit roguelikes, this is Really, really good one. I feel like it's a very wonderful one. Dark Quest 2 on the Switch. Very simple, straightforward dungeon crawl game, but it is very much an homage to Hero Quest. If anybody remembers Hero Quest, the board game put out by Milton Bradley 20 years ago, and it was called something different in England. It was actually much bigger in the UK than it was in America. I apologize, I don't know what it was called in England. But if you liked Hero Quest, if you're old enough to remember that, Dark Quest 2 is a direct homage. The developer says it's his love letter to Hero Quest, so it's very intentional. I loved it for that. I thought it was great. And my final honorable mention, The Missing, J.J. Macfield and the Island of Memories, coming from Swery 65 earlier this year. It's a 2D kind of a platformer, but if you know Swery's work, who was famous for Deadly Premonition, very offbeat, very unusual, dark, very dark, a lot of kind of disturbing themes, but ultimately a story about like incredible positivity, about I hesitate to say more because I don't want to spoil it. I think that just playing that game is its own reward. But man, The Missing was a great game, and I really think it's exactly the kind of game that we need right now. So don't be put off by the dark appearance. It's actually a very ultimately positive and worthwhile story to get through. So
okay. And actually, and now that you're saying that, I know there's like probably 5 other ones on Steam I would mention, but maybe I'll put it in a tweet.
We can do that. We can do that for sure. Okay, so those were honorable mentions. It's been kind of a love fest so far, but it wouldn't be so video games if we didn't have a little sour with the sweet. You know what I'm saying, Carlos?
Oh, let's sour
you know
it up,
what I'm
baby.
saying. Let's sour it up. You know what I'm going to say, buddy. Disappointments of 2019. I know you're Mr. Positive. I know you like to keep it on the sunny side. But we got to get a few. We got to get a few little, that games.
I got 3. So. I got 3, and I'm going to go with you to that dark place about.
We got to go dark just for a minute.
All right. I got 3.
Disappointments. Let's have them.
Do you want to do all 3 of mine first?
Yeah, go 3 years, and I got 5. So you do your 3 first.
Oh, jeez, yeah.
I had a lot of disappointment this year.
I've been waiting this year. This is my moment. Okay, so I got 3. The first one's Days Gone.
Oh, okay. Days Gone. All right.
It almost made my list in a way because, like, at times in the beginning, it was so cool.
It's almost your top 10, but it's also your disappointment.
Yeah, I put that as I said. Oh no, I'm saying it's almost an honorable mention, not top.
Oh,
10.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's almost an honorable mention, and it fell into the category of negative because, well, I'll say the positive is the bike is awesome. The bike is super realistic and feels good, and you really care about the bike. And weirdly enough, I like that bike a lot. Like the game. Is a zombie game, and I really like the developer, and I'm really interested in it. I was excited for it, and again, this is one of those games where it goes on for so long, that kind of cycle of getting ready for it, because it gets pushed back, that it's almost like it's going to be hard to live up to that because it's been so long, and it didn't really, because a couple of the mechanics, like I said, were good, but overall, I didn't get into the characters. I found it too difficult at times. I found it kind of pointless, and I didn't really want to continue. And if a game does that, you're like, well, shit, now I don't even want to pick it back up.
I mean, those are all pretty significant downsides.
Yeah. I mean, at times you feel like it's gonna be that game you want, it's gonna be the zombie game I want, and I do like this bike a lot, and blah blah blah, and the combat's okay, but it just got too annoying or frustrating, and then I didn't want, you have to save this one character as a main part of the game, and I just didn't care too much to save him, and so those telltale signs. I'm like, well, this is disappointing because I don't think I'm gonna finish it, and I was so excited about it, but it's not doing anything enough to keep me.
One question for you. I've heard some people say that the high point of Days Gone is when you get swarmed by zombies, and apparently you don't do those, or you're not able to you run away from them, but I guess you're not able to deal with those until pretty late in the game, which people said was one of its biggest problems. Did you get far enough to battle the swarm? Was that everything that came up, or did you not make it that far?
No, I made it very far in the game, and I've seen many swarms. Most of the time, a swarm you could just run away from. Okay. So in a lot of the trailers leading up to it, it's like, oh no, how are you gonna figure out this particular thing, because all these zombies are coming from all different angles. It's called running. You just and also you have a bike, there's a motorcycle, and if you haven't you have to have gas in it though.
Sure.
But if you have gas in the motorcycle, you just leave. There's zombies. You
I
drive
love it.
away.
How do you deal with a horde of zombies? You just fucking leave.
You leave.
You just get out
leave
of there.
the situation. And you can hit the zombies with your bike, which is pretty damn cool.
Okay.
It can make your bike take damage a little bit, but it's worth doing. So, and by the way, I just remember the other thing I hate about this game. And now I think it's the number one thing I hate about it. You have to fill up your bike all the time with gas.
Oh, is it like unrealistic gas usage?
I think it is. And also, if you run out and you're in the middle of nowhere, you have to push the bike. Talk about a not fun game
That
mechanic.
sounds like a drag, dude.
Literally a drag.
Literally a drag.
Yeah, so that is the worst mechanic. And I think that really helped take me out of it because a lot of the fast travel is like hardly there.
Okay.
Yeah, but to answer your question, you can run away from them. And when I did fight them even early on, I felt okay. I think it's just like you got to like take out a bunch, go inside a house. They can't get inside the house, or maybe they can get in through this window, hit them in the window. It's just strategy. So,
Okay.
I felt more afraid in State of Decay than...
Really? Okay. Yeah, that's a pretty scary game, yeah. Okay.
Because also in State of Decay, you care about your characters because the permadeath kind of thing. So, like, if they're dead, they're dead. And, like, this one, you're like, oh, just respawn. So, you never really feel too worried about zombies.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
uninspiring. Two more real quick. The Sinking City.
Oh, man, that's on my disappointment list, too.
Is it?
Yeah.
I don't like saying it, and I give every game a million chances. I'm the optimistic
You really
one.
do, dude. You really go the extra mile, to be fair.
I really do. This is garbage. I think it's full on
Oh,
garbage.
shit. I don't think I've ever heard you say that before.
Because here's the thing. Why I say it is because it comes from a passionate place. It's such a cool setting. And, what's it called? Lovecraftian, right?
Exactly, yeah.
And there's so many things it could do right. But it's like, here's these weird half-breed animal people. All right, I guess. Here's this weird language you don't know. All right, here's this other thing that you don't really need to know ever. Oh, okay, I guess. Here's bad controls. Oh, okay. Here's confusing objectives. Yeah, confusing. Like, what am I supposed to do next? I guess I'll do this. The whole thing just felt like a mess. I just felt like I didn't know what I was doing after a while. I didn't care. I felt underpowered. And yeah, maybe it picks up and gets interesting, but it just felt like a uninspired, confusing thing. And
let me jump in with you now because I second everything you said. This was also on my disappointment list. So like everything you said, yes. It was just terrible. Like the most disappointing thing about this for me was that it comes from Frogwares, who makes the Sherlock Holmes games. Have you played any of the Sherlock Holmes games?
No, I haven't.
They're fucking great. They are wonderful. And I'm like, all I was expecting was for them to do the exact same Sherlock Holmes thing and stick a Lovecraft skin on top of it. I would have been fine with that. I would have been like, yes, this is what I want. And they didn't do that. They went with like open world, which makes no sense. They've never done that kind of game before. They added combat, which has never been part of the Sherlock Holmes games before. They don't do combat. And like you said, like the objectives were really confusing. The combat was a mess. The story was a mess. The way that they got away from what they did best. For some reason, they've put out like 5 amazing Sherlock Holmes games in a row, which I love. They're so good. And now they're like, oh yeah, we're going to not do anything we do well, and we're going to do something we've never done before, and we're going to do it really poorly. And I'm like, oh, fuck, what? Why did you guys do this?
Well, to be fair, though, a lot of developers try that and then do succeed, so you got to try and see.
I mean, I guess, but it's like, dude, this was such a ball out in left field for these guys. Like, yeah. They're so good at what they do. I don't know why they didn't do that. But anyway, I was really, really hyped for this one. I was very excited. I've been looking forward to it for a long time. It was terrible. It is a terrible, like, driving your boat. Everywhere you got to go, you got to drive a boat in the street, which is dumb. You can't find places to go. Like, they give you a marker, but they don't tell you where the actual location is, and you're searching for a long time.
I was lost so much.
Oh my God. It was terrible. Yeah. It was terrible. All right. Anyway, disappointment. I'm with you on that one. Disappointment, okay. 100%.
My biggest disappointment is, I'm going to end this with optimism because I always do. My biggest disappointment is something that I'm going to go back to. I'll tell you why I was disappointed in it, and I'll tell you why I'm going back to it. Okay?
All right.
The biggest disappointment, easily, hands down for me, was, and I say was because maybe it'll redeem itself, Outward.
What?
Now, Outward is a RPG.
Oh, yeah, okay.
It's supposed to have, like, I don't want to say Souls-like, but, like, difficult battles and also very realistic mechanics. So when
It's the thing where you it's the backpack game, right? Yeah, the backpack game.
So when I got it pitched to me, I thought like I get all excited about RPGs that might have a lot of like really interesting complex systems and things that are really open and you can do whatever you want and like pick up different objects and I don't know, just like the granularity of it, right? But this game is essentially like it cares about weight and it cares about what things are in your backpack, and you may have to actually put your backpack down because it's too heavy because you can't fight with a backpack on.
Yeah, totally. You got to put your backpack down and fight. Yeah, absolutely.
Which, and again, in the pitch is like, oh, that's how realistic this game is.
It's kind of cool. Yeah.
Yeah. But no, it's just annoying. And so the backpack was immediately annoying, and I was like, well, I'll just keep it light, and I won't put heavy things in my backpack, and I'll leave everything on the ground, which in an RPG, as you know, you want to pick up everything. So immediately I was like, oh, I can't pick up everything. Well, now this doesn't feel fun. Secondly, biggest problem with the game, you go to any town, at least in the beginning, and it feels like a PS2 game, or PS3 at the most, where you go into a tavern, and it's just the barkeep, and like maybe one person at a table and no accoutrement, like nothing on the walls. Just like a fucking PS2 ass like bar. Like a bar from the PS2 game. Like
pretty simple, pretty stripped down and bare. Yeah.
How is this like if they built a huge world with all these possible options, just put a fucking picture on the wall. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
totally.
A picture of a bear. I don't give a fuck what it is. So that really took me out of it because you got to have a little bit of believability of the world to keep going. Maybe we didn't in the PS2 days, right? We were like really excited that the fucking game worked at all and it was an RPG. Cool. But now it's like going back. So the game regressed so badly with the graphics that I couldn't see what is interesting, which is like you could do anything and go anywhere and take out, try anything at any time and no bosses unavailable. You can take whatever you want to try. So that's still appealing to me. And I hear people saying it's one of their favorite experiences when they get further on. So if I can see past the graphics, I might get this redeemed. But right now, as it stands, it's like definitely one of my most disappointing things.
I actually bought this and I played it for like 15 minutes and the tutorial was like really more in depth than I was wanting at the time. So I bounced, but I bought it because I can't remember. I think it was either Coffee Jesus or maybe it was Patty Stardust on Twitter that recommended it, and they really liked it a lot, and they sold me on it. Both of those guys, I don't know do you know them? The guys that do the Twin Humanities podcast. Do you know those guys?
Oh no, I know of them, but I don't know them.
Oh my God, those guys are a hoot and a holler. I love them both intensely, and if they like a game, they have the magical ability to sell you on it. No matter, even if you think it's a game that you're going to hate, they will talk to you about it, and by the time that they're done talking, you will have bought that game and it'll be in your library because they will sell you on. They do it to me all the time, and I'm like, don't tell me about this game because I will not be able to resist your siren's call, and they still do it to me anyway. So they sold me on this. I did plan to come back to it, but they loved it. They both, either or both of them loved it a lot. I can't remember which one it was. Apologies, guys, but so that I got to come back to it. But I gotta put Greedfall ahead of that one because it's. Those two things are kind of in the same basket for me.
Greedfall comes way before Outward.
Right. But they're kind of the same thing, like a third-person action RPG, open world-ish.
One is number 2 on my list, and one is my disappointment for the year. They're kind of the same thing.
I mean, in the same general genre or whatever. I have them in my mind categorized as being similar.
All right. It just feels like it's from the past. Like, unfortunately, there's some mechanics that are wildly interesting, and I know that if I get further down, it might be like, whoa, I never even knew a game could do this. Is really interesting, but like there's so much of it that you feel like you're in the past, and Greedfall feels like a game of its time. So yeah,
there's an art to doing the AA game, and maybe Outward has not quite mastered that art yet.
Oh, this feels like an A game,
just a 1A game.
1A. Yeah. But let's on a future podcast, both of us we're going to revisit it and we'll talk about it.
Yeah, absolutely. I have a copy of it laying around here. I could easily come back to it. So yeah, no problem.
What's your disappointment, Trash Fires?
All right, disappointment trash fires first. Ancestors: The Humankind Odyssey.
Oh.
I was supposed to play this for review, and god damn it, I just can't get through it because it's so fucking awful. But it's a premise. The premise of being a prehistoric ape-like human ancestor and taking it through evolution. Immediately sold. I was down. I saw the videos. I'm like, this video looks amazing. I want to be this ape-like creature, making stone tools and poking things with a stick. That looks great. And when I actually played it, I'm like, oh my God, like it is the most miserable experience. Like it is almost like being out in the savannah in prehistory yourself, where you're about to die at any moment and there's like no food and it's just awful. Like it's a wonderful premise, but I feel like the developer forgot that it's a game. Like it needs to be a game. Just so confusing. The controls were shit. Graphics were not great. And just like you didn't know what to even do. Like it was so, how do I advance? What do I even do? I don't even know what to even do. Like it was just, oh man, so disappointing, that one. So disappointing.
People mentioned that it kind of had Death Stranding vibes, and the fact that you kind of were out in the middle of nowhere and didn't know what to do. Is that
fair? Man, I would say that is people bending over backwards to say something nice about a game that doesn't deserve it.
Okay.
I don't see that at all.
It's monkey garbage fire.
Kind of monkey garbage fire. Second disappointment of the year, one that I think that you will feel me on. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. Huge disappointment for me.
That should have been on my list. Okay, I'm adding it to my list.
Add it to your list. Feel free to jump in if you want. I was ready for a decent Star Wars game. This game didn't even have to be great, but I really disliked how it chose a little bit of Uncharted, a little bit of Dark Souls, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. It didn't really have its own identity. And what it didn't even do well. Like it was like ice slides all over the world.
Too many ice slides.
It was an absurd, ridiculous, comical amount of slides all over the world. The maps were really confusing. Every time you finished with an objective and they told you to get back to your ship, I fucking cringed because I could never make it back to the goddamn ship.
We talked about that. That was messed up, man.
Oh, it was fucked up. It was so
messed
bad.
Up.
So bad. They wanted to do like a Dark Souls kind of a combat, and they did not do a combat. I wish they would have gone just regular arcade combat because it's not good. And then the puzzles were like these really shitty Tomb Raider environmental puzzles, pushing these big balls around. I'm like, what does this have to do? None of this relates to Star Wars in the least, dude. Like these giant, stupid environmental Tomb Raider puzzles. I wanted to like this game so much. And to be fair, I liked the crew members on your ship. I would have liked to have spent more time with them. Did not care for the main character. But this game was just not fun to play. Really not fun to play. I know that a lot of people were cutting it slack because it's Star Wars and everybody's on the Star Wars tip this year, which is fine. I mean, I am kind of too. But this is just not a good game. If this did not have the Star Wars license attached to it, nobody would be giving two shits about this game. It would have been instantly forgotten.
Yeah, BD1 is pretty rad too.
He was
the
okay.
robot.
Yeah, he's good. He's
and
good.
So I agree with all those points. Too many slides, too many puzzles, weird puzzles too. Like put the ball on the floating air and then knock the thing with the door.
Oh God, it was just so basic Tomb Raider. It was terrible.
So and all that is true. And getting back to your ship, true, terrible. The difficulty stupid, and I switched it to story mode and like actually could play the game. So anybody who's still playing it and like is thinking we're wrong and they're like having a good time, cool, keep finishing it. But if you want to have a better time, switch it to story mode because it's still difficult. It's fucking still difficult in story mode, and you can get all those stupid puzzles still. So just turn it to story mode. Yeah. And now with Star Wars being so huge and Mandalorian and everything, like it does feel fun to kind of turn it back on for me. And I'll jump into the world of Star Wars for a minute, but then I'd usually get frustrated about a puzzle and I bounce.
Yeah, it's just not good. Collectibles were trash. Like the level design was trash. Like a lot of it was just really, really poorly done, which is a shame because it's from Respawn, and Respawn did a fantastic job with Titanfall 2. That is a great campaign. That is a super interesting, exciting campaign. Why did they not do that? Like I don't understand what happened here. Like it just got lost in committee. So Jedi Fallen Order, not a good thing. But let's just take a moment. Can we both just take a moment, since you brought it up, can we just have like a moment of coolness for The Mandalorian? That was the shit, wasn't it?
Mandalorian was a shit. The finale was the shit.
The whole thing, yeah, God, yes.
Taika Waititi, whatever his name, right?
Yes, the director of the last episode.
Oh my goodness gracious. What a
great series. The Mandalorian is dope, dude. They fucking nailed that thing. I thought The Mandalorian was great. So anyway, that has nothing to do with Jedi Fallen Order. Has nothing to do
Instead
with
of playing that game, watch Mandalorian.
Please, it's a much better use of your time. The Mandalorian is the shit. Just a moment of what's up to The Mandalorian. Had to do that. All right, back to disappointments. Sekiro. I hated Sekiro.
Whoa, that's like number one on people's lists.
Whatever, man. I mean, it's not okay. So like, look.
Listen, I don't like it. I'm with you. I mean, I'm not that kind of a game player. I don't like the Souls games. But tell me why.
Let me back it up, because the thing that I okay, so Sekiro was great for changing it up. It wasn't more Dark Souls, which was good. I think that FromSoft needs to take a break from Dark Souls. They also changed their approach with storytelling, which I thought was also good. You could actually understand the story mostly, not all of it. A lot of it was still confusing bullshit, but you could understand it mostly. And it was just a change of pace. I thought that was good. They got back to their ninja roots. They've done ninja games in the past, so I thought that was fine. But the thing that I didn't like about Sekiro was that it was really fucking hard, and there's no builds in this game. Like in Dark Souls, if you're not a parry master, you can be a shield guy, or you can be a spear guy, you can be a bow and arrow guy, you can be a magic guy. You can do, like, there's a build for you. It doesn't matter, like, what kind of player you are, whether you have fast reflexes or not, there's a build for you in Dark Souls. You can be whatever kind of character you want to be, and you can survive. You can make a play style for yourself. In Sekiro, it's all about fucking parrying. And if you can't parry, then fuck you. And I'm terrible at parrying. I hate parrying in almost every game. I'm not good enough to do it. My timing is not good.
Star Wars, I'm looking at you.
Yeah, that too. So, like, if you can't parry, and if you don't have lightning fast ninja reflexes, this game doesn't give a shit. It does not care, and you cannot make progress. I got stuck on a couple of the bosses. I didn't finish it. I got to the last boss of the game, and I just was simply not good enough to beat him. I could not do it. I was not fast enough. It was too hard. It was too long. I think it's like I want to say it's like a 4-phase boss fight, and it's just too much. Like I was not one of those get good motherfuckers. And I would have really appreciated a difficulty setting, or maybe a different kind of build, or maybe some kind of item to make it better. I mean, a lot of people were getting on PC and doing hacks to slow the game down in order to finish it. And I think that's not entirely unreasonable. This is a game that is specifically made for the get good crowd who have the lightning reflexes. And if you enjoy it, that's great. But there's a lot of people, including myself, who are FromSoft fans who could not play this game, could not finish this game. And it just really... I just really got really burned by that. I just really did not like how, if you can't parry, then fuck off. And it's like, so that really burned me. Did not care for that at all. Last disappointment was Trials Rising. I'm a huge Trials fan, but Ubisoft keeps fucking this game up. It's very simple. A motorbike, an extreme stunt course. That's all you got to do. All you got to do. Big jumps, large gaps, go up hills. It's very simple. Trials is very simple. But they fucked it up by giving you a grind for experience, which has never been in a Trials game before. And the frame rate was not good because this is a game about micro twitches, going up a hill, balancing the weight on your bike. The physics are real. And if you fuck up your physics, even just like an eighth of a second too long on the control stick, and you fucking crash, right? So in a game that has frame rate hiccups where it stops and freezes, ruins your entire run. There were so many times when I was getting close to getting like a gold medal, and then the frame rate would like hiccup, and then I would like lose my momentum, and I would, the game would kind of keep going, but it had stopped, and so I wasn't sure, was I balancing forward, was I balancing backwards, and then it would crash and lose my gold medal, and it was like, fuck off, dude. Fuck off. If a game is going to be so tight and so strict, which is fine, it always has been, which is fine, but it's never had frame rate problems before, and I cannot play a game like this that has frame rate problems. It fucks the entire game up.
You know what's a better game? I agree with you. What's a better game with a bike is Lonely Mountain Downhill.
That is a fun game. I got to get back to it. I played it for half an hour. I did not have time for it, but I want to get back to it.
Yeah.
Excellent. Lonely Mountain Downhill. We didn't neither one of us mention it, but that is a fun game.
It is a fun game.
All right, folks. Those are our disappointments. We are almost at the end of the show, but we have one final segment before we close this episode out. Over the last week or so-ish, we asked all of you lovely listeners to send us your top 3 games of the year and one disappointment, because that's how we roll. We have compiled the responses, and we're going to go through those right now. Carlos, do you want to start with the first person?
I'll start, and we've got to do these super fast.
We're going to go through them real fast.
So what we'll do is we'll say the name of the person, their Twitter, and then we'll just say, like, agree, disagree, or something like that on each one.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, if there's something real juicy, we can, but otherwise, let's go through them real quick.
Okay, here we go. So Richard Lovejoy starts us off at the Harpo Marxist. Top 3 is Sekiro. And it's your disappointment.
Yeah.
But, a lot of people liked it, and it made a lot of people.
Liked it, yep.
Dragon's Dogma, I would have picked that. One of my favorite games ever, but he's talking about a special release of it, right?
I believe so. I think it came out to the Switch this year, yeah.
Oh, because it's an old game. One of my favorite action RPGs. So
it's great. It's wonderful.
Star Traders Frontiers. Never heard of it. I'll have to research that. Yeah. That's his top 3. And for disappointment, Children of Morta, which we also said we were disappointed with. The design, gameplay, VO, and characters were stellar, and then the narrative was just tropes. I still love the game, but it could have been Game of the Year instead of just excellent. So
He's right on. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
very disappointed by Children of Morta.
All right, moving on. Next person.
Moving on, Badger Commander, who is AJ Small at Game Critics. He's one of our writers. He says Game Critics already has a top 10 list, and it's actually posted right now. You can go see it at GameCritics.com. So he's giving us the top 3 games he wishes he had played more of before the end of the year. First one, Remnants from the Ashes. 2 is Pathologic 2. Oh man, I'm feeling him on both of those. Outer Wilds, not Outer Worlds, which was like the most confusing naming thing to happen this year. Outer Wilds, Outer Worlds. Both space games, both came out at the same time. But he wanted to play more Outer Wilds. So there you go. I do feel you on Remnants and Pathologic. Didn't get to either one of those. Wanted to, though. Carlos, next one?
Oh, yep. We are on... Sorry, I had a headset issue. We are on... What is this?
Shawnee Boy. We actually... I emailed him in the past. We didn't know how to pronounce it. It's Shawnee Boy.
Shawnee Boy. At WSIONYNW. Top 3, Sekiro. Ooh, Sekiro really coming in strong. Outer Wilds, which I very much like that game, even though with the weird naming of Outer Worlds, yes. And Resi 2?
Resident Evil 2.
Oh, Resident Evil 2. It's like, Resi's a game?
Everybody in the UK calls it Resi.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's a phenomenal pick. Or maybe it's Luigi's Mansion 3, he said. Disappointment for him was Crackdown 3. I also agree. Wow, talk about a game taking way too long to come out and then being like just basic, I guess, is what it really was. Yeah, he said nowhere worth the wait, and I agree.
Oh man, I got to get to that. I bought that one because I really liked Crackdown 1. I haven't cracked it yet, but we'll see.
You haven't cracked it yet?
I haven't cracked it yet. That was unintentional, but I apologize. That was a bad
I apologize for you too.
Thank you. Next one comes from Upsalo. UPSELO, longtime listener of the show. What's up? He says, number 1, Outer Wilds. Number 2, Heaven's Vault, which I actually surprised that we didn't hear more about that one. Number 3, Hitman 2. Oh, Hitman. Loving some Hitman. Says great DLC and post-launch support. And he has no disappointments this year, so I guess it was a very good year for Upsalo.
Wow, no disappointments. That's like impossible.
He's happy. He's got what he's got. He's happy with it.
All right, we have Phil Holmes next.
Yep.
P Holmes 122 on Twitter. Top 3 is Division 2.
Hey, there you go.
I can see that. Dragon Quest Builders 2, by the way. Also, I didn't play it this year. I love Dragon Quest Builders. It could have been on my list.
Good game.
Death Stranding also on our list. Good.
There it is.
And Disappointment Contra Rogue Corps. Didn't know it even happened. I don't even know that existed. He said he went in expecting the worst, and he still left angry. Jeez, that's pretty hard to do.
Yeah, that's a pretty bad game. Next one comes from Louis Fiatro, longtime listener, good buddy on Twitter. Louis Fiatro says, I played 5 games from 2019 in 2019, so this is an easy list for me. I guess if you only played 5, then you can pick 3, that's for sure. Number 1, Sayonara Wild Hearts. Number 2, Wadham. There you go. Got some Wadham love. Number 3, Untitled Goose Game. Neither one of us picked it, but that was... I think the Goose Game was the game of 2019. Everybody was talking Goose this year.
I liked it. I played it.
Yeah.
I have Goose socks from the developer.
Oh, that's nice. You got to share those. Give me one. Give me just one of them. We'll split them.
No. We're not doing that. Anyway.
Disappointment of the year. Wolfenstein Youngblood.
I can see it, though. I can see it. I'm not going to hate because there's problems with it.
Yeah, okay. All right, fair enough. Moving on.
Zolbrod, at Zolbrod. Good name. Fire Emblem 3 Houses. Good pick. Kingdom Hearts 3. Yeah. AI The Somnium Files. I wanted to play that, and I
heard good things about that one.
Yeah. Disappointment joins Brad in the trash fire of Sekiro.
Yay! Another person who says it's a disappointment. Hooray! I knew I liked Zolbrod. I knew there was a reason.
There you go.
Next one, Alex Connolly. Goodman Alex Connolly, wonderful artist. I love that guy. You should check him out on Twitter. His top 3 games: Afterburn, Rico, and Dead Hand.
Don't know any of those games.
I know Rico. That's a first-person kind of a run-based, really quickly slow-mo shooter. I don't know the other 2. Disappointment is Trident's Wake. Says he's still chasing that Helldivers dragon. And brother, I feel you. Once you get hooked on Helldivers, there's nothing else like it, and they haven't made another one since. So it's like there's nothing to soothe that heartache, bro. I feel you, Alex. I feel you.
I'll have to check out those games though, because I like new games that I don't know about. And yeah, Helldivers is great. We talked about it before. We played it before, and I'm still chasing the what's it called? Heroes of Might and Magic vibe.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Robert W. Scott at Robert W. Scott 8 says kind words, which is the one I have on my list to play, which is basically you writing letters to real people. Really cool. Islanders, never heard of it. And Demon's Tilt, which is like Alien
like Devil's Crush. Alien's Crush. Yeah, exactly.
I had the TurboGrafx. We could talk about TurboGrafx all the time, always, because my favorite game system of all time. And Alien Crush was one of my favorite pinball games, so good pick on there. Disappointment. Endless Space 2 DLC? Question mark? I don't know. He didn't really have a disappointment. I think he was just had a lot of positivity in his
that's true. He's not too upset by anything. So that's good. If you're only disappointed by a DLC, that seems to be that's a pretty good year. Yeah. Next one is coming from at Scrambled Still. Number 1, A Plague Tale. All right, more love for A Plague Tale. Concrete Genie, which I believe you liked, didn't you?
I liked quite a bit. Didn't make my top 10, but I did like it a lot.
Have we even talked about Concrete Genie? We haven't, have we?
We haven't. No, wait. On this podcast we have. I've definitely said something.
Did we? I don't know that we did, dude. I'm not sure that we did.
I think we did.
Maybe we did. Untitled Goose Game. There's some goose love. And says, my only disappointment is directed at myself because of how few games I got to play this year. Oh, that's sad.
I have a sad face.
That's a sad face. I'm in the same boat, Scramble. I feel you. I feel that literally every single day. Every single day.
Next up is My Sinclair. No Twitter name on that one, but
I think that is her Twitter name. She's great. I love Mai. She's wonderful.
Number 1 is Bloodstained. It got me to play almost 70 hours.
Wow.
It's everything I wanted it to be. What is that RPG?
That's the one that's like the Symphony of the Night guy.
Oh, yes. Okay. Yeah.
God, I can't believe I forgot his name, but that Igarashi.
Yeah, good.
Yeah,
pick. Cadence of Hyrule. I think did that come out before this year? Or this is like a
No, that was this year. That was this year.
It was this year? Really?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
It's a just charming, fun pick up and set down game that doesn't outstay its welcome. 100% agree. Really cool to the beat game.
I gotta play that.
Jedi Fallen Order is on her list. Maybe not popular with the podcast.
She knows us well. She knows us well.
I love my Kale the Highlander animated series, Terrible Jedi. Game was really fun. Had some faults for sure, but it pulled me through to the end.
All right.
And I'm with her because I definitely will. I want to see the ending, so I might through story mode. Most disappointing. I'm not trying to start any fights with this. Please don't at me. It's Sekiro.
Yay! Another Sekiro hater.
It's getting yays for being a disappointment. The Tenchu franchise is my top 5 franchise of all time. They always have badass boss fights.
No, I think
bad boss fights.
Just bad boss fights.
She was saying it's negative.
They were awful. Yeah.
And this game leaned into boss fights, and here's a sprinkle of some Tenchu.
Truth.
I get it. Yeah.
Truth.
The solution for me has been easy. Make Wolf just as lethal to bosses as the bosses are to him. Actually, make it more like Bushido Blade. Ooh, that's a good game.
Yeah.
It clearly hit right for a lot of people, though. Yeah, so
she's not wrong.
She's not wrong at all. That.
Not wrong. Thank you for that, Mai, very much. Next comes from Night Dreamer, longtime Game Critics. One of the OG. He's been around like almost as long as Game Critics has been around. Listener of the show. Good man, good friend, Night Dreamer. Says, my game of the year is definitely the Resident Evil 2 remake, which made me wish every PS1 game got this kind of remake treatment. Honorable mention is Link's Awakening, which, while not a PS1 game, is still a very good remake. The two follow different philosophies in terms of remake. One rebuilds the whole game. The other is more of a remaster of an old game with quality of life improvements, but both worked really well. My biggest disappointment is waiting an entire year for Samurai Showdown on the Switch, only for it to be quietly delayed until next year. Oh, bummer.
He mentioned Samurai Showdown. That's a game I played in the arcades in college, and I love it.
I've heard the most recent one is actually pretty good, but I haven't got around to it.
Yeah. Trash at Trashylvania.
Trashylvania, I love that guy.
Top 3 would be Greedfall. You are he's my new best friend.
All right.
We'll talk after the show. Gears 5.
Okay.
Which has not made a lot of lists.
No. People kind of not much love for Gears this year.
But it seems like it's a solid game. And again, AI, the Somnium Files.
Another mention of Somnium. I got to play that.
We got to play it. I missed out on a lot of 2019 games by focusing on my backlog instead, he says. And yes, we both have backlogs, and we can feel you on that.
Yeah. Support.
Thing that sucked, Our World is Ended. A visual novel with unfunny humor and uninteresting characters that is way too long.
Ooh. None of that sounds good.
None of that sounds good.
Next one comes from Michael R. Baker at The Thousand Scar. He's a nice guy. I just met him recently. We've been chatting on Twitter. Says his top 3 is Enderal Forgotten Stories. Never heard of that one. Number 2, Disco Elysium, which I've heard is incredible, but I'm waiting for it to hit PS4 next year. Number 1, Pathologic 2, which just hit Xbox, and I really want to play it, but I don't know that I'm in the emotional space for that right now. And my disappointing choice is The Outer Worlds. Oh, Shade Throne.
Well, I made friends on this list, and I've made enemies.
You made enemies. Excellent. All right.
Eric S. Manch, The Manch Dynasty.
He's another long-time Game Critics guy. What's up, Eric?
Sekiro, number 1. And
I knew that was coming.
Monster Hunter World Iceborne, so it's a kind of a DLC.
Yep, the expansion, sure.
I did enjoy Monster Hunter World. It was pretty addictive. And Ninja Saviors, Return of the Warriors. Don't know what that is.
It's like a side-to-side 2D, like Final Fight bash 'em up style.
Okay. Maybe a game that he needed at that specific time. That's what happens.
Very much so. Could be.
No disappointment, but says Iceborne is the best explanation or best expansion since StarCraft Brood War. But Sekiro's gameplay and verticality won out for Game of the Year.
Okay, that's fair. Adderblack 39 says number 1, Death Stranding. Okay, I feel you on that one. Number 2, Days Gone. Days Gone fan.
I don't know.
Number 3, A Plague Tale. More love for Plague Tale. See, people like the plague. People like the rats. We're rat fans this year. And the game that disappointed him was Anthem. So much potential squandered. Holy shit.
That was this year?
That was this year, and boy, that game. Talk about disappointment. I think Adderblack takes it.
He wins.
Galaxy class
disappointment. Yeah.
Galaxy class disappointment. So much disappointment on that one. Ouch. Crash and burn.
Oh man, because also, but here's the thing. I will say this positive stint that the action is like the combat stuff feels fun. Like it's flying around like Iron Man is pretty fun. That's all I know. Like I played some of it enough to be like, oh, this is interesting, and then like so much of it's wrong.
Yeah. You need more than good flight mechanics to carry that game.
Yeah, we got 3 more, and man, we're burning through this. But thanks, by the way, everybody for sending all these. There's so many.
Absolutely.
We should do more this type of stuff, I think, on the show.
Agreed.
James Carter, comma, top 3 order interchangeable. Apex Legends, a lot of people love that game. It was an overnight sensation. Beat Saber, which I wanted to play, and Sekiro again. Disappointment. The opening hour of Devil May Cry 5 put me off playing any more of it. No excuse for intrusive, text-heavy tutorials like this in a 2019 game. Yeah, I kind of agree with that. I did put down Devil May Cry 5 and didn't pick it back up, even though it was a pretty fantastic action game. I don't know if it was because of the tutorial, but yeah. Interesting pick.
Okay, good picks there. Thank you, Carter, J. Next one comes from Game Critics writer Mike Susky. I believe he's going to be turning in a Games of the Decade or maybe a Games of the Year. He hasn't turned in one yet, so if you see that, Mike Susky, give him a nudge. But he's given us a top 3 right now. Top 3, Pathologic 2. Another shout out for that. I've heard it's wonderful if you can take the disappointment and heartbreak in it. Number 2, Death Stranding. Okay. Number 1, Disco Elysium. Another vote for Disco Elysium. I got it. I'm looking forward to that, like big time. Most disappointing, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, and I forget where the colon goes in the name.
Oh, so, yeah, I know. Why did they pick that positioning?
It's a weird fucking title.
Star Wars Jedi colon is what it is.
He's not wrong about Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. Disappointing.
Fucking puzzles. Yeah. And our last one is Alex Fuller. Severn Mira?
I think Severn Mira.
Okay. Top 3, AI the Somnium Files.
God damn, that's like 4 or 5 votes for Somnium Files. Okay, I got to bump it up.
It's bumping up on my list. And number 2, Final Fantasy XIV Shadowbringers. That's a DLC for the MMO, right?
Okay, I guess so. I'm kind of not involved in that.
14's like still going, and side note, loved 15. I want more 15 so much.
Oh wait. So you played 15, but he's still on 14? Are they both running?
No, 14's an MMO.
What is 15?
One like a regular game, like in the series, like a traditional. Yeah.
Which one is 15?
The fucking like an incredible game.
Oh God, I have literally.
It's the car. It's the car. They're all go in the car.
Oh, the bro
Bros.
road trip. Oh, okay. I was like, God, I can't even tell you what number that is.
Dude,
I don't even remember.
The ending is so good.
Man,
Seriously.
I fell out of Final Fantasy a long time ago, and I don't think I'm ever coming back.
You might not have to come back, but I want more of that. Anyways, number one, Legend of Heroes: Trails of Cold Steel, a great series.
A lot of people love that series.
Yeah. So definitely heard of that before. Was so much that when something did suck, it was easy to move on. But what is that?
I think it's Utaware Rumono.
Zan was a disappointment. I can't even say the name of the game, but I'm disappointed that I can't say the name of the game.
Double disappointment.
So there you go.
There we go. All right, that was a ton of responses, a ton of good ups and downs, highs and lows. Thank you all so much for the responses. We really love hearing from the listeners and from the fans. It's great to interact with you folks. So thank you all very much for the comments. And thank you very much for listening. This is actually the end of the show. This has been a pretty epic episode, Carlos.
Epic and last show of the year. Boom, 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 boom.
Boom, boom, boom. There we go. All right. Well, again, thank you very much for listening. We will be back next week with another episode. I don't know that we're going to be doing the decade episode. Maybe we'll do that in 2 shows, but we'll be back next week with something.
I'm playing like 6 games right now. So, after this list, I'm going to go back to so many.
Oh man, I need that time machine to play some fucking games, dude. Because I got to be honest with you, man. Every time I play a game, half of me is enjoying the game that I'm playing, if it's a good game. The other half of me is like, there's 42 other games I could be playing right now, and it's hard. I mean, seriously,
there's no
exaggeration. Games. Not literally. I'm underselling it. If anything, you got to pick one, and no matter which one you go, there's like a billion that you're not getting to.
Hey, fun fact real quick before the end of the show, because no one's listening to the ending anyhow, right? So it's no, they are. I looked in my PS4 library the other day, and now I got a bunch of these games through codes. Maybe like, let's say 50, okay? Mm-hmm. But the rest of them I bought, guess the number. Have I told you this?
You have not told me.
Guess how many PS4 games I have in my digital library on my PS4 right now. Not all on my PS4, just like as purchased, right?
Like not counting the 50 you got for codes?
Yeah, not counting the 50, because let me take that out right now. Okay, yep.
I don't know, 200.
442.
442. That is a big number.
I have 490.
You got a backlog.
I have like 400, almost 500 games in general that I bought.
You will never run out of games to play.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm scared to look at my backlog. I have no idea. I will never get through all those games, but that's another topic for another show. So, all right, folks. Thank you for joining us for the Game of the Year. I hope you've enjoyed it. As always, we would love your questions or comments. Anything you'd like to send us, you can reach us. So videogamespodcast@gmail.com. You can also post comments for us at Game Critics when the show goes up. And we are on Twitter collectively at SoVideoGames, but it's probably better to hit us up individually. Carlos, where do you want people to find you this week?
Just keep it simple. Twitter, ONAWA. Onawa.
Excellent. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram. It's my name, BradGallaway. All A's, no O's. And that is it for us. Thank you once again for joining us here at So Video Games. We'll see you next week and look forward to that decade retrospective, whatever it ends up being. But for now, this is bye from Brad.
And sayonara from Carlos. We'll see you next year.